Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN with Jamie Rivers and our guy, Brad Thompson, who was in studio today. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody tuned in. 201, your time check. It's brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So, Brad, how are the Cardinals? Everything good?
I'm just happy to be here.
Ready for this push?
With all the moves. I didn't know if Chip or I were going to be on the move. I didn't know if that was a possibility, but both of us. But I talk about waiting till the last minute to fill out a lineup, because I saw a lineup early in the clubhouse, but they weren't posting it to MLB yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna wait, and then the deadline hit, and then I'm gonna wait another 45 minutes just in case some of this stuff trickles in. Because remember last year, the Montgomery Bader one was a late trickle of that one coming in.
Yeah, we talked about that at right at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, for sure. You just never know what else is going to be coming down the pike. But you know what? I think that I really do think that there is a level of like, take a breath. Now, if you're in that club, if you're still there, because there are so many rumors floated around different guys. The entire outfield, basically, minus Walker and Nootbaar. I don't think we're in too many conversations. I'm sure that they were called about, but not really receiving any, or no traction the other way. Various pitchers that did go on the move. Anybody that you thought was for sure going to get traded ended up getting traded. That's kind of how this deadline went. So a crazy day. One the organization never really thought coming into this season that they were going to be at that point. They were. And now we're going to see. Like, the idea of, like, writing a piece right now, like, winners and losers of the Cardinals deals with... You're out of your mind. Like, you have no idea who's going to win these deals. Have no clue. Yeah. Right now, for this year, it's every team that you just traded to, because they got the actual, real, legit players that aren't prospects. But... hopefully, you bolstered your pitching. You've got some higher upside guys, and you make a run at it from there. We'll find out. We'll find out what these guys do in AA, AAA when they get going, and some of these guys have already started going. And we'll find out what it looks like. I bet we'll see a lot of these guys in spring training.
It sounds like they've got a couple of pretty good positional players, too, in all this. So we know they got 7 pitchers yesterday, but they also got the 2 infielders that rate pretty darn high out there as far as prospects are concerned. So I don't know if that has any impact on the Cardinals in the next year or two as far as on their roster, or if those guys have an impact in acquiring somebody maybe in the offseason.
I think you hit the nail on the head, right? You can't have, you can never have too many talented pieces, right? And you're talking about Prieto who came in, or Prieto, or, you know what, if he plays well enough, I'm going to get his name right. We'll figure it out.
Right.
But came in over in the Jack Flaherty deal, and then Sajasi, who came in over in the Montgomery Stratton deal from the Rangers, and both of them putting up big-time numbers, middle infielders, and good bat-to-ball skills, not crazy power for either one of them. But I think that is the biggest key. Think that some people looks like, well, you said you needed pitching, just get all pitching. How about you get all the best players and then utilize some of those best players, because maybe that does free up down the road a deal where one of those guys are in it, or it's Tommy Edman, or maybe it's Brendan Donovan, or whatever. Like, I'm just throwing out names.
He's hurt right now. Why are you picking on Brendan Donovan?
I would never pick on Brendan Donovan.
Is it because he can't throw a ball?
That's my favorite player. I couldn't throw a ball, and I was like getting paid to do it. Like, Donnie's like my favorite player on the team. And you talk about a gamer. This guy like stuck it out through the trade deadline, knowing that he needed surgery. And he was like, I can help. Let's just get through. Let's just get through here. And I don't know if he's already had the surgery today or not, but obviously going to miss the rest of the year. That sucks. But the concept of getting the best pieces you can from these different organizations, like, that is the goal. So whether they be all pitchers or a couple of position players with some high end pitchers in the mix, you did the right thing. You did as much as you could. Like, was there anybody that got traded where you're like, I don't know about that. I wouldn't have done that. Or a return. Not that we know all about all these prospects, but there wasn't like a return where I'm like, that's all you got?
No, I mean, just from a general concept.
I thought that Paul DeJong could have got more, personally, especially from the Blue Jays, knowing that Bichette was a big question mark for them moving forward. I thought Mo could have maybe pushed the envelope a little bit.
I just wonder who the Blue Jays were competing with, though, at that point. Because the Dodgers already made the deal for Rosario.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. We talked about the market, the shortstop market, and I didn't have the Blue Jays in the market, obviously,
because the night before,
right? Because Bichette was healthy when we looked at the market last Thursday for shortstop. we were like, okay, Dodgers, maybe the Giants, but Brandon Crawford was getting healthy, and they just called up their 21-year-old prospect, Luciano, who's a shortstop as well. There wasn't the shortstop market wasn't booming, so the Blue Jays suffered the injury with Bichette. I don't know who the Blue Jays were competing for with DeYoung. But just from a general perspective, I was hoping that they would get somebody that's all right,
big league ready.
That guy was in AAA, but he's bounced back and forth. Young guy, he could probably join their starting rotation now. I was hoping for that, but when I take a step back and say, what were the Cardinals looking to accomplish? In my eyes, take the contracts that were expiring, turn those contracts into as many assets that you can to fill up your minor leagues, either for you or to make trades in the offseason using those players or some combination of players so that you could improve their big league club. And I thought they did that. I don't know what prospects are going to pan out. We can't make that prediction. Not even people that follow these guys on a regular basis know if they're going to pan out. Just from the prospect of take the expiring contracts, turn those into cost-controlled players. Mo did that.
Yeah, and Jamie, there was a time, probably in the last couple of years, where for Paul DeYoung, you would have taken a bag of balls. I mean, being honest,
Which
right?
Which kind?
Yeah, are they already rubbed?
Yeah.
Basketballs,
little Mississippi
baseballs,
baseball.
footballs.
I mean, if they're already rubbed up, then
soccer balls.
And to Paul's credit, he put himself in a. That's a
and vitamins.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. To Paul's credit, he put himself in a position where a team wanted him, right? And you got something for him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brad.
It's a great movie.
We just had a kicking and screaming reference here.
Oh, half cap? Half cap?
We just showed that movie to the kids over the weekend.
I watched it like 2 weeks ago, too.
Stuck in the old noggin there.
Great, yeah. Mike. Just bringing in Mike Ditka, too, as the assistant coach.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're a juice box guy.
I apologize, Brad.
Sorry, Brad. You had a great thought.
Anthony over here just...
Yeah.
Go ahead, BT.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying credit to Paul DeYoung to put himself in a position where somebody wanted him, right? And maybe, who knows, maybe they want to pick up his option for next year. Either way, you got a pitcher out of him, Swanson. Matt Swanson,
that's the Dutch guy,
donkey.
isn't it?
No, the Dutch guy is
Sagisi.
It's Reverse.
Reverse.
No. Oh, yeah, that's it. Sem's his first name.
Reverse.
Reverse.
So did they? I wonder if Mo and company just, hey, who are you having a hard time pronouncing out of all your guys? You got a Klopfensteinerstein? You got one of them?
Every single guy.
You got a Sajasi that looks like Sagas?
Right.
You got one of those?
Yeah.
Sagasy, we called him.
Thank God for John King came back in the deal. That was nice.
The one kid, Roby. The first name, Tekoa Roby? No, not Reggie Roby.
By the way, if you want one to keep an eye on, Tekoa Roby is the one to keep an eye on.
So he's 21.
What about that other kid?
Injured. He's injured, right?
He's injured right now. Shoulder right now.
Who was the guy that at the end of the Flaherty deal was kind of thrown in there?
Oh, he was a rookie ball kid.
Yeah. He's 19. He was thrown in at the very end.
Probably the next Ronald Acuna or Juan Soto.
What?
Is it Showalter?
Yeah,
Showalter.
I did a little digging on this kid and
found out that it wasn't Buck's grandkid.
I did research that, but I found out that people are pretty high on this kid. As only a 19-year-old, they feel like he can really develop.
Which is great, and that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for upside in some of these, and again, who knows what you're going to end up getting from him. The Roby one, I spent a little time just watching some video on him. This kid's filthy, Tekoa Roby, and he's got exactly what you want. Like, back in the day, everybody wanted, like, sinker slider. You think about the plate, and you're just dividing it in half. You don't know which way the ball's going to go. Well, with the sinker slider, guys, there are more balls put in play. Now, it could be weak contact, but balls put in play nowadays in baseball are balls put in play, and now especially with the limited shifts, these things are sneaking through. So everybody's looking for four-seam curveball guys, right? Who's got that good ride up in the zone? Who's got that big bender? And Roby has got that. Like, he's got that mid-90s fastball still growing, and he's got a freaking hammer breaking ball. And yes, he's currently injured. These are the type of guys that you take a chance on. We were talking about last week, if you make a deal with the Rangers, like, hey, would they? And they wouldn't. He's first-round pick from a year ago. But the idea of Kumar Rocker, it's like, oh, okay, he's hurt. Are you able to pick him up in a deal? You knew that wasn't going to be the guy, but the concept of it makes a lot of sense. Buying potentially low on something that could be high.
The other thing that I like that the Cardinals did, and I don't know, the player is what matters. The player developing, the player making an impact for your organization. That's what matters. But the thing that I liked that the Cardinals did was they primarily made trades with teams with strong farm systems. And birds.
A lot of birds involved.
Save for the Rangers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two other birds. The Orioles and Blue Jays was probably by design.
Well done, Anthony.
Yeah, but the Orioles, top 5 farm system in all of baseball. So you made the deal with them for Jack Flaherty. The Rangers, top 10 farm system in all of baseball. Made the Jordan Montgomery, Chris Stratton deal with them. Now the Blue Jays are probably top 20, more 20 than 15. But let's keep in mind that Vladimir Guerrero, Bo Bichette, Biggio, Alek Manoah, these are guys that came up through their system. Teoscar Hernandez, I believe, at one point was a Blue Jays farmhand. I know he's a Diamondback now, but these are guys that were developed in the Blue Jays system. You want to work with teams that know what they're doing from that standpoint, and the Cardinals largely did.
No, I totally agree with that, and we're going to find out, man. So you just look at the Jordan Hicks deal. You talk about Toronto. Will you bring in a 22-year-old donkey and Kloffensteinerstein, who's 6'5", 245.
We'll find out in 2 years.
But, 22 years old, third-round pick. And then you bring in Sam... He's Dutch.
Yeah.
Look, he's a guy that
played for the Blues.
Yes, low 90s fastball, good break. Well, could absolutely. He was a futures game guy. I know you guys talked about that as well. They only send the best of the best. No big deal to the futures game. So,
Brad, were you part of the futures game?
Did you pick up on that? Did you pick up when I was laying down right there? Now, was I hurt when I got there? Sure I was. Still got to see the festivities.
You gave it your all to your team.
I did.
No big
That's what happens. You get to be a part of a team like that when you set a record.
Yeah, darn right you do.
Then you go on the IL.
What was the record scoreless?
Honestly,
how many
it's
innings?
been so long that I can't even. 57 2/3 on the nose is exactly what it ended up being. And you know what? One of these kids right here is going to come nowhere near that. There's a good chance.
Let's hope that record just stays forever.
Yeah, everybody says like, I want my... No, you don't. Nobody wants their record broken.
No, of course not.
Liars say that.
Are you kidding me? I recovered 2 fumbles in one game in high school, and I was hoping that would last forever.
I recall you bringing that up a few times on the show.
Of course. It's the only record I had for 5 years or so.
Did somebody get 3 or did somebody tie it?
Somebody tied it. I haven't looked in a while, I'm afraid to.
3's a lot.
3's a lot in one game.
You're not that lucky.
No.
What high school was it?
Not a varsity high school game. Neuqua Valley High School.
Do some digging.
Wildcats. Yeah. Just for that school specifically. I'm sure somebody recovered a bunch of fumbles somewhere else in high school many times over. But nonetheless, Jamie, let's hope that one stays. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. How aggressive does this front office need to be in the offseason following the trade deadline? I would say very. We'll get Brad and Jamie's opinions on that next on 101 ESPN.
We've got balls and vitamins, but mainly balls.
And vitamins!
Summertime, perfect time to go buy yourself a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Londoff family have been in business for over 80 years, providing some of the best quality vehicles around. And at Londoff Chevrolet, it's more than just a price tag. It is way more than that. They want to make you a customer for life. They want to make you part of the Londoff family. I know this because I've been part of the Londoff family for over 20 years now. Buy all my vehicles at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and became friends with the entire family and wouldn't go anywhere else. They've got 2 locations now, too. Londoff Autoplex, located out in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70, and the original Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, right there in Florissant, Missouri. Both places are super easy to get to. Great state-of-the-art service center, and fantastic staff that's going to make sure your customer experience is perfect. Please walk in, tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you. If you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Unfortunately, if they do not spend money in the off-season, they're not going to be able to even field a team.
Your goal in any trade situation like this, where you're trading major league players for prospects, you just get the best package you can overall. And honestly, that would probably more be position players for me than pitchers anyway, because of the higher degree of certainty that we do see with position players. So not saying I would never take a pitcher, but I would always lean towards adding the position players. If you end up in a situation where you have a surplus of good young position players, then you can try to package them then together to go get more established pitching, especially when you're in a contending window again.
I can't stand Keith Law, and I will never listen to him on the radio.
Well, there you have it.
That was a little Janet Sammy right there.
It's totally a Janet sandwich. That's what I was going to say. Brad, you're absolutely right. You heard Janet, then Keith Law, then Janet.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yep, little Keith Law in the middle there. Keith Law was gracious enough to come on these airwaves. Again, poor guy.
You guys got a chance to actually get him on this show now that I'm not on here.
No, we don't, Brad.
No,
we're good.
I think Jamie sewered him too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Keith Law is a tool.
There's the one.
Yep,
there's the one. BK and Ferrario show. Yeah.
He just doesn't like me because I said anybody that doesn't think that Yachty is a Hall of Famer is an idiot, and he took that as a personal affront. I can't wait to see him in Cooperstown. I think that is going to be fun.
Hasn't he softened that approach?
Oh, I'm sure he did when he realized he was an idiot.
He doesn't like
for
me.
the take. Like, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But for the take.
Sure.
We had it when it was myself
Open
and
face crab sandwich.
and BK. We had him on, and we were talking about young kids and development and how the athlete feels, getting to a big league training. And he was trying to tell me how I was wrong about how an athlete feels when they go to a training camp or when they get to the majors.
You know how hard it is to put in a pocket protector?
Yeah. I was like, Keith, I know exactly how the athlete feels, but I appreciate your time. And I get up and walked away. I looked at BK. I go,
wow.
you've got him. I'm done with this guy. He was kind of snide about it.
I'm going to be totally honest with you, too. 100% honest here. I was listening to Janet, did not hear a word what Keith said in the middle. So what was he talking about?
He basically countered everything that the Cardinals did, saying that the key is to go get a whole bunch of positional players and then trade those guys for surefire pitching.
Well, let's hear it again.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
So this is Keith Law on BK and Ferrari earlier today.
If you need to.
Marsh is pulling it up again. Hold on. Give him a sec.
Unfortunately, if they do not spend money in the off season, they're not going to be able to even field a team.
Your goal in any trade situation like this, where you're trading major league players for prospects, you just get the best package you can overall. And honestly, that would probably more be position players for me than pitchers anyway, because of the higher degree of certainty that we do see with position players. So I'm not saying I would never take a pitcher, but I would always lean towards adding the position players. If you end up in a situation where you have a surplus of good young position players, then you can try to package some of them together to go get more established pitching, especially when you're in a contending window again.
I can't stand Keith Law, and I will never listen to him on the radio.
Didn't have to do the last part again.
I mean, I guess
the beginning part I totally agree with. You get the best package available. That's what we were talking about with Sajasi and Prieto, right? Like, you got a couple of position players that are top 10 now on your prospect list. That is a good thing. The good players will breed good results. I don't care if it's via trade or they come help you at the big league level. Like, that is a good thing. But when you have an organization like the Cardinals that's so devoid of swing and miss pitching talent, I feel like that has to be a target of yours, not just simply like, and I'm not to say like if you have an option of prospect who's number 10 on this list and prospect who's number 3, but 10 pitches you take 10 over 3. No, but if we're close right on this list here, then I think that you have to also feed what you don't have in your system and hope that you're able to develop these guys into big league talent.
I'm sorry, man. Pitching is the biggest, the most. It's the most important commodity in baseball. Farm system and
non-controllable pitching is the best currency. Like,
so to get position
he's smarter
players
than I. We give him crap. Like, he's smarter than me for sure on paper.
Me too.
100%. He's got a degree from an accredited college that's not just a 2-year degree. I have an associate's of science or arts. Science? Yeah, because I didn't take a language. Associate's degree of science.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, well, I think
you don't take a language?
The arts, I had to take a language. I didn't do that, so I just took more like math and science.
Huh, no kidding.
Not sure. But yeah, I think that's where that lays out.
Now look at you, Brad.
I know, right? He's a Stanford guy, is that right?
I have no idea. I thought it was University of Phoenix online.
Oh, my God. No,
the Rising Phoenixes. Yeah, the Rising Phoenixes. Exactly.
Harvard of online school.
Yeah.
Educationconnection.com.
South Harmon Institute of Technology.
Yeah, the sandwiches. The crab sandwiches.
We got a lot of good movie references today.
Boys, I got one here, a text. And
Harvard, my bad on that. I didn't mean to take him down a peg.
What is it called? Harvard what? Anyways. The text here, is it a text or a troll? Would you all consider trading Goldie and Nolan to get top-level young pitching and put Gorman and Walker in their spot, seeing that it's their natural position?
It's a text. No.
I wouldn't trade Gore. Look, I've been very honest about this.
I think he's talking about Nolan Arenado.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't trade either Nolan, first and foremost. I would trade Goldschmidt just because...
You have hated Goldie since he got here.
It's awful. And Goldie's one of the nicest guys ever. And maybe that's why Anthony hates him.
Oh, because he does no wrong, right? Where it's just like, look at this guy.
Somebody all in black.
God, like,
just like Goldie.
Goldie never changed his grades. Tell you that right now.
Never has to.
Never was told at a tryout that maybe you should play a different position.
Hey, come on. He started in the outfield. They moved him to first.
Never forgot which direction to go in a pool. You know, that guy, he's got it all figured out.
Dark down. It wasn't dark at all.
You know what? Now I know why you don't like him.
Look, somebody once told me that it's the guys that that are quiet and seemingly do nothing wrong that you got to watch out for, okay? I'm just taking that advice to heart.
Give me one example.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Anthony, who cares what you think?
The Dom Show, I think.
Did you guys watch Dahmer?
Yes.
I couldn't. I started watching it. This is how smart I told you, I think, that I started watching it in Milwaukee, forgetting that it started in Milwaukee.
Oh, that's right.
And I was
At the Fister?
At the Fister, yeah. And I was a little banged up when I started watching it, and it was creeping me out. I couldn't finish it. Like, I got like 2.5 episodes in. I'm like, this ain't for me.
I was sitting there.
And I'm dark.
It's a little too dark.
I was sitting there watching it, and it's just a TV show. Like you're watching the documentary or whatever.
It's good eating.
And I had to fight off, like for 45 minutes at one point, I had to fight off because I was hungry. And I was
A sandwich?
sitting there. I was sitting there with Ashley. We're watching it, and I'm like, at one point, I was like, "Man, I'm hungry." I'm like, if I say that, I'm gonna look like the weirdest dude. Dahmer's eating people on TV, and I'm hungry. I held it out till it was over. Then I was like, "Whew, I sure could have a snack right now."
Oh.
Do you remember the GIF when that show first came out? It's like him at a burger joint, and he's like, "This doesn't taste like Five Guys."
I hadn't seen that. Oh, no. Come on.
Anthony's just talking about Five Guys too.
Jeez, that was yesterday. Yeah. Anyways,
You guys trying to watch The Omen? Or not The Omen, The Exorcist?
no.
There's a new Exorcist?
There's another one?
That's part of the show.
That's part of what show? Oh,
Dahmer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He was watching it. But it was like The Exorcist 2 or 3 or something.
Oh, yeah, I can't get enough of those ones.
That guy
It wasn't the original. My man was watching like the second or third one over and over and over
That's
again.
where the dude got away, right?
I don't know. I didn't realize there was an Exorcist 2.
Exorcist 3
There's
is
a bunch
actually
of them.
not
Or
bad.
3.
3 is not bad. I would recommend it. I'm serious.
So anyways, Goldie's 36. He'll be 37 next year. He's got 1 year left on his deal. If he waives the no trade clause, I would certainly look to move him for pitching.
That's stupid. Just
It's
hardening.
not, though. It's really not.
Just your cornerstone, does everything. Still,
He's great,
playing
Brad.
great.
What if?
What if?
I'm just saying.
Here it comes, Brad. Get
I'm
ready.
just saying.
Here it comes.
All right.
Production falls off a cliff.
Okay.
Then what?
Well, what if it happens to
Then what?
Ronald Acuna? Production just fell off.
Acuna's 22.
Fell off. 23 is rough.
Come on.
In them streets. You kidding me?
These streets. What streets?
They're the nicest neighborhood in Atlanta.
Come on, man. Not even the same.
Pretty much the same guy.
Acuna's 25, by the way. He's 25. I made him 2 years younger for my point. All
I
right.
thought you asked how aggressive the front office needed to be. We never even got there. You started talking about
Let's talk about it next here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, you're wrong.
101 ESPN SportsCenter.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards made a few trades yesterday before Major League Baseball's trade deadline. Paul DeJong going to the Toronto Blue Jays and Jack Flaherty to the Baltimore Orioles. Yesterday, the Cards lost to the Minnesota Twins by a final score of 3-2. They'll be back in action tonight with Dakota Hudson on the mound. First pitch, 6:45. We have BT for another half hour talking some Cardinals baseball, so keep tuning in. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Brad Thompson. I'm Anthony Stalter. All right, so we didn't get to it. How aggressive does this front office need to be this offseason? I guess what we need to, because they need to be aggressive. But, Brad, do you think that they need to be like 3 starting pitchers aggressive or 2, and then they can count on one of these young guys filling the last spot?
2 and 1 young guy fighting it out, like most teams have. Like most teams have one spot that is up in the air. Who's going to win the battle? And guess what? If you fail on that one, then we'll have somebody there waiting in the wings. It's depth, and the Cardinals thought they had a lot of that. Turns out they don't have as much of it as they thought they did right now. But I think the answer is 2. Are they going to go out and sign 2 top-end free agent starters? No. They're not going to do that. They're not going to go out there and sign Nola and Stroman. Like, they're not going to splash the pot that much. They need to sign one of them. They need to get one of those guys. I would love to see Nola. I'd love to see Snell. Like, they need to get one of those guys.
You're talking my language.
I mean, right now, look,
you're pointing at me like I don't agree.
No, you said
I
you didn't
agree.
want that. You said you wanted number 3 pitchers.
But I think that they learned from this offseason. We've talked about that, and internally, I know that they've talked about it, that the price of starting pitching is the price of starting pitching. And if you don't have it, there are 2 ways to get it. One, you sacrifice some of the pieces that you have in your farm system to go out and get it. And that's, by the way, how I think they're going to have to get one of these starters. They're going to have to make an uncomfortable move. The reason that during this trade deadline, they didn't bring in a starter that you believe could plug right into the rotation this year and or next year is because they didn't want to give up an uncomfortable piece. I'm sure that a lot of teams were calling about Gorman. Gorman can get you a piece like that. Certainly Walker is going to be able to get you a piece like that, but they weren't willing to make a move. That a lot of calls came in about Masyn Winn also. Not going to do that right away, right? But I think that this offseason is when they're going to have to get uncomfortable on 2 different fronts. One is going to be the prospect currency to go out there and get you one of these starters, and 2 is going to be straight up financially going out and getting a frontline starter. And if you don't do those things, I feel like you're going to be looking at the same thing you're looking at right now, this same exact hole. Why are the Cardinals not good this year?
Pitching.
They can't pitch. That's the long and short of it. I'm not trying to minimize like good seasons some guys are having. We've seen some bright spots. The rotation in the last month has looked a lot better. It's largely gone now, but the rotation numbers were a lot better in the last month. You've seen some bright spots here and there, but in large part, it's one of the worst pitching staffs in the game of baseball. You have to acquire talent, and it's going to take your prospects, and it's going to take money.
So
very, if in terms of aggressive.
Very aggressive.
They have to be, but will they? I think that's the biggest question mark for everybody, including myself.
I think a lot of people are concerned, too.
Well, because I've said for I don't know how long now, Anthony's sick of hearing me say it, but I've said, I've said flat out that the Cardinals absolutely have to be in on Nola and Snell and have to get at least one of them. But will they be willing to pay the freight? Because they're not going to be the only ones that are in on it.
And will they be willing? Those pitchers be willing to sign here?
Well, okay, let's just assume that both of them like it here. They both love the birds on the bat. They love the free zoo. Let's just assume that, okay?
I see Snell being a St. Louis guy.
You do, huh?
I actually agree with that, Brad, a lot.
You know, the Tampa Zoo is outstanding, and he was once a Ray, so maybe...
You go from 2 great zoos. San Diego Zoo? You've been to the San Diego Zoo?
Or not the zoo, I'm sorry. Tampa has a great aquarium, and we have the new aquarium, so...
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller.
It still is fantastic.
As they like to say, it's quaint.
But
it's actually a very nice aquarium.
But will
It's
the
awesome.
Cardinals spend that money? Like, are they finally going to get out of the comfort zone? Because they're probably going to have to overpay because more than one team is going to be in on it. And I just wonder, if the puke point is just too much for the Cardinals when they look at one pitcher.
Oh, you're gonna have to test your gag reflex, Jamie.
Hi-oh.
You're gonna have to, because you're gonna get deep down this rabbit hole.
You sure are.
And you're gonna realize, boy, this is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're saying your tear's coming out.
But it's worth it.
Yes, of course it's worth it, because it's gonna pay off.
Talking baseball?
Of course we're talking baseball. It's gonna pay off at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody is gonna be cheering for you. Like, look, they did it.
It's the big moment.
Now here's the question. You go out there and you spend all this money and then you don't win, a la the Mets, right? Like, it's not always going to fix every problem. You still have to acquire the right guys. And you also have to be in a position to help them succeed, which leads me to thinking about your catching position again, like how exactly that is going to look for the next 4 years after this one. Because when you're bringing in a free agent, it's part of it. Who am I working with every day? How's that going to go? Okay, well, what answers do you have for those conversations, unless it's like way more money? So I think that there are different things that they still have to figure out, but if you're not in these conversations, and Jamie, your point is the most salient one, and it's one we'll kick around until it's done or it's not. Like, will they do it? Will they have the appetite to spend that money? I feel like if they don't have the appetite to go fishing in that pond, or at least utilize your prospect currency to go trade for a guy like that, then you've got a whole different appetite of maybe repeating this same season.
I think that's what most people are afraid of.
See, and I don't believe that this ownership group has it in them to have another year like this. I don't. I as much as you want to call them the DeWallets and all that, like, they are baseball people, and they love winning. Do they love money? Of course. If you owned a team, you'd love money too. We'd all love money. I'd love to own a team.
I want my Bill DeWitt to, at the end.
Is this going to be with a back tattoo?
No, way different this time. What I want out of my Bill DeWitt, and the boys can be there, the whole family can be there. But at the end of the season, Mo's having his press conference, and the media's going to ask, how aggressive are you going to be in the offseason and all this stuff. I want the DeWitts to walk up with a hockey bag and just slam it on the table in front of everybody, and money flies out of it. Say, that's how aggressive we're going to be. Hundreds,
wasn't it the Phillies?
Hundreds everywhere. Be like, here, media, go get lunch. We don't care.
Bring a receipt back, though, please.
Yeah, right. We just care about taxes.
Yeah. We do keep good books.
Wasn't it John Middleton, the Phillies owner, that said a couple of years ago, we're going to spend stupid money?
Yep.
He did.
And they did.
And they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
They got to the World Series.
What do you think, like, when we're talking about stupid money here, we're just talking about a pitcher. Let's throw Nola out there, for example. What do we think that contract is going to look like? Is it going to look like, Chris Sale signed a 5-year, $145 million deal? Is Carlos Rodon coming off injury with 6 years, 162? Like, we're looking at AAV of at least
175.
AAV's at least 30 million, right?
Yeah.
29,
it
30
has
million?
to be at least 30.
I think Nola gets 175.
Your highest
plus.
paid starting pitcher currently is Adam Wainwright, right? At $17.5 million.
Mike list will be next year, though.
Right. But and that is at right around 16. So you're going to about double
that,
Miles Michaelis. That's a big appetite. You don't have anybody in your organization that's going to do it.
If they do get an ace, do you think they would be more willing to? How do I put this? Do you think if they get an ace, they will pivot and give opportunities to young guys, as opposed to if, like, Nola, Snell, for whatever reason they don't get them, they get two pitchers that way, and then give one of these spots to a young guy?
Oh, the pivot.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
I
hey,
thought you meant if they sign one of those guys, do they start to sprinkle
Trade
in
off
young guys?
Oh,
I was like, that would kind of be counterproductive. If I sign one of those guys and put that money out there, I'd like to win.
But we're talking about two. Well, we're talking about two starting pitchers in contract wise. We're talking about two.
Yeah.
If you get Nola, so will they just get one? One Nola or two of, like, Paxton, Sonny Gray types?
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
Rinse, repeat.
But you got an ace.
I think you still need
on top of the ace.
Are you going to get an ace?
Yeah.
And then give two.
I thought you said or get an ace or two of the lower guys.
That's kind of what I'm saying. So, okay, let's time out. You got two spots right now out of the 5 filled. Michaelis and Mats.
Yeah.
That leaves you 3 spots.
Correct.
Okay?
A total of 5, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
So you got 3 spots.
Yeah.
If they sign 2 guys, we'll just say Sonny Gray and Paxton.
Okay.
At, I don't know, between 15 and 20 million.
Yeah.
Okay. You got 1 spot left for a youngster.
Yeah.
Correct?
Okay.
Do you think they would have it in them to sign a NOLA, which is going to cost you $30+ million? So essentially two pitchers.
You're saying go buy 3 free agents?
If they get NOLA,
cheap ones, Brad.
Will they fill the other 2 spots with youngsters?
No. The way that I think that they at least should be doing it is if they went out, let's just use NOLA again, okay? Or plug and play. NOLA, Snell, Otani. Just put whoever you want.
That'd be nice.
In that little box right there. I think the other starter is going to come via trade. I think it's going to have to. That's where you end up. Whatever log jam you believe you have, if you got a log jam in your infield and your outfield and some prospects, you piece all that together, you get uncomfortable, and you make a trade of a controllable starter. I think that's when you end up making that deal. That's one of them.
And then the last
one will be an internal battle.
Okay.
That's the way, at least that's the way I see it.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that setup.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Okay. Because what I'm getting is like, hey, we just gave a whole bunch of money to NOLA. You basically used all of your starting pitching budget for 1 guy. Great, you got the ace. Now, Mo, what else are you going to do with no budget now? Or do you split it up and get 2 guys and then whatever? What you just said makes a lot of sense. Because you still have
Break
that
yours
congestion.
down again.
I don't think we need to. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Who do we see being called up? Not just September call-ups, but right now. And I want to know from Brad if any of these young pitchers are going to get an opportunity perhaps later this month or in September. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Tickets on sale now for the Ironman 55 this weekend at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway in Pevely.
Have you got a vision for your kitchen or your bath upgrade, but you don't know who to turn to? Well, let me make it easy for you. Head over to ENB Granite, located at 6135 Manchester Avenue. ENB Granite has proudly provided the St. Louis area with exceptional customer service and exceptional products for over 20 years now. 20 years. Amazing. Please walk in, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you, and let them know what you're thinking about, whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom. And if you have no idea or you're looking for ideas, that's where the sales representative comes in. They do a fantastic job of finding out what you like, what would look good in your home, and then they walk you through the process. And they'll even take you in the back and let you walk through the countertops. Then back in the warehouse area, they've got granite, they've got quartz, they've got marble, they've got soapstone, and you get to see the entire countertop and what it could look like in your home. The process is easy. They're so good at measuring, installing, removing your old stuff, and then answering any questions you have regarding the care and the maintenance of your countertop. So please don't hesitate, again, to get there in person or give them a call at 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300, or visit enbgranite.com.
foul territory. Chasing it is Pete, and it hits him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the face. Right in the face last night for Pete Alonzo. That was tough.
Happens.
Yeah. He got right up, though, because he's a big, strong, tough guy that could put people in jail. Or, sorry, the hospital.
He became a policeman.
All of a sudden, he's like Shaq or Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Also, police officers.
He's going to, be on a train sometimes, stopping people coming in.
What do they call those people who are like voluntary cops, but they're not cops? They're like citizens.
Citizens arrest?
Citizens arrest.
Yeah, but there's a group of people. There's a group that they call themselves
vigilantes.
The neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch.
No, something like angels, not Hell's Angels.
Is it Hell's Angels?
No, not those guys. Text line, help me out. My gosh. Anyways,
I don't know.
Anybody know this?
Anyways, hey Brad. Besides Masyn Winn, who else do you think gets an opportunity, specifically pitching wise, between now and September? Or the October, I guess I should say.
Yeah, look, obviously things are different now where the 40-man roster doesn't expand to 40 men like it used to. So the idea of September call-ups was a fun one. It's like, hey, let's see this guy, let's see that guy. You don't really have that ability right now. And some of these arms that you did bring into the organization that you might end up wanting to see are not all on the 40-man roster. So you end up having to make some moves to get them up there. Look, different guys that are intriguing to me. Graceffo and McGreevy are intriguing. I would love to see at some point what it looks like on a big league mound. But for the right now, it's going to be Libby and it's going to be Hudson and it's going to be Jake Woodford when he ends up coming back off the IL. Like, that's what you're going to see for the here and now. But what is going to be fun to watch, I guess fun is maybe the wrong term, but it's going to be interesting to watch is watch AA and AAA. Watch the stat lines here for the next month or so, because they'll tell you who's going to end up getting a chance. Like, you get hot at the right time, and you have a big league team that has an opportunity out there. There is the idea of not wanting to start clocks on different guys, and you don't want to ruin rookie status and all of that stuff. But for the most part, it's going to come down to, are you getting the job done? Like, I don't think that they've looked at anybody in the minor leagues right now and said, well, come this date, that guy for sure is going to be here, other than Masyn Winn. Come this date, that guy's going to be here. I'm pretty sure that they have done
2 weeks.
I would say right around probably August 19th. Like, if I had to pick a date, like that would be right around the date.
Makes sense.
Specific.
Well, yes, backing out the calendar a little bit to 45 days, which keeps his rookie status. I would say probably right around there.
Yeah.
We need him now.
I totally agree.
If we're going to make a run at this thing, we need him.
We're going to make a run at third place.
Well, not even a run necessarily. Could happen. Bad division. I want to see him. I want to see the athlete. I do want to give him every opportunity, and I understand why you would hang on to him for a little bit in the minor leagues. But I want to see what it looks like for Masyn Winn, because I want to see him end up getting some of that learning curve out of the way early. But like if you're looking for an example that's already here, I would look at Nolan Gorman from a year ago. Nolan Gorman got I think he was in 87 games, so it'll be a bigger sample size than you'll see with Winn. But he learned how the opposition was going to attack him. He learned where his vulnerabilities in his swing were. He learned what he needed to do around the bag at a new position. Obviously, Masyn Winn, when he comes up, he'll play shortstop, not a new position for him. But maybe he'll learn the nuances of playing it at the big league level and how they differ. Maybe he needs to be a little bit quicker on certain things or whatever. You learn, and then you have an entire offseason to train,
to go work at it,
to figure that out. Yeah, I think that there's so much value in that. And I feel the same way for some different pitchers. You find out what they look like when you get that third level on a baseball field. It's different. You pitch in a minor league ballpark, the mound's still the same, 60 feet, 6 inches, everything's there. You get into a major league stadium, it's a different feel to it. And for some guys, it can have that shrinking, like, oh, wow.
It's a big moment.
Yeah, you want to find out about some of those guys. But I really don't have any that I have pegged that, like, they're for sure going to be here and be a part of it. Like, do you guys have anybody that you really want to see?
No, that's what. Well, I
kind of want to see.
It's more of who I don't want to see.
What?
Yeah.
Who do you not want to see?
I don't want to mention names.
Well, why would you say?
Hold on, real quick.
Who do you not want to see?
Does one of them have 4 syllables? Does it have 4 syllables?
Are you going?
Does it have
full
4
name?
syllables?
Are you going full name or just the last name?
Just the last name. Depends how you pronounce it, actually.
No, I'm not. I know what you're talking about. No.
Can you guys let me in on the game here a little bit?
Well,
does it have 2 syllables?
Yeah.
Does the first name have 3?
One of them does. There's two I'm thinking of.
Who the hell do you not want to see?
Is it Dakota, Hudson, and Jake Woodford?
I am not saying names.
I'm just asking.
Oh, I thought you were talking about some of the rookies.
Look at my
the young guys.
Yeah.
Dakota and Jake.
Well, I'm not going to,
All right, so he doesn't want to see those two.
It's complicated.
I want to see.
That was easy.
I want to see Masyn Winn. I want to see. Sure.
Well, yeah.
I don't care. Center field. What the hell? Let's make another infielder an outfielder.
Oh, Jamie.
But
versatility.
Yeah. It's what do they call that? Flexibility. Roster flexibility.
Yeah, roster flexibility.
I'd like to see Graceffo, McGreevy. Like I want a reason to turn on the TV. I want a reason to go to the ballpark. Why not? If you're not going to have a winning season, if you're not going to be pushing for a playoff spot, there's got to be something to be excited about. And I'm excited to see these young guys play. And that gets me, tuned in. That gets me to the ballpark, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that at all. The only thing is, when it comes down to seeing some of these young guys play, is actually finding room on a 40-man roster.
Yeah, and starting their clock and all that crap.
And I don't care about the clock stuff as much. My thing is with some of the clock issues, especially when it comes to the pitching, you don't know what these guys are going to be down the road. And generally, if a guy is talented enough and he does so well that he forces your hand, that's a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that a good thing that he did what you needed him to do? So you end up paying them in kind. That is fine. So I agree with you, and that's what I would want to see down the stretch too. I want to see who takes advantage of this opportunity. I want to see, even on this roster right now, who looks at this job and says, you know what? They traded away a couple of starters. They traded away a couple of bullpen pieces. Everybody from the outside is looking at this season as a loss. I want to make them watch me. Mm-hmm. Who are those guys going to be? Who ends up emerging from that group? And it was actually a question I asked Ollie about yesterday. If you had to bet on somebody to emerge from this group, and he talked about a lot of different guys because he likes a lot of the talent that they have. But one guy that he pointed out specifically was Jojo Romero. He's like, I think this is a guy that's going to rise to the occasion. There's going to be some outs that need to be had at the back end of the bullpen, and he mentioned JoJo as a guy that, especially here recently, has pitched confident. Who else can do that? Can he keep doing that? Who else can go out there and just let it rip? A la like we've seen, veteran guy, but the idea of Steven Matz, who came back from the bullpen, realized that he had to be in attack mode there. He's in attack mode now in the rotation and looks good. Who is going to attack? Because it's going to be good for this season, and it's going to be good for next season for them.
BT, always great seeing you, man. Thanks for stopping in.
This is way easier here.
Yeah.
We just so much more fun.
We just like feeling your presence,
Man, felt good.
It's always good feeling you.
Was it good for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Always. Yeah. Brad, we'll see you, buddy.
All right, sounds good.
When do you go to work? Yeah, you heading down to the ballpark?
Yes.
All right, good man.
Go get us a win. An exciting game.
Yeah, go get us Masyn Winn. Please.
I just hope Keith Law's not in town.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's going to be a rough conversation.
Wish you guys would quit being so damn hard on the guy. Works really hard, went to Harvard.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if he's told you that.
Probably.
Yeah, he wasn't a tree. He was a crimson.
What? Oh, yeah, I said Stanford.
Yeah.
And he was probably angry.
Probably.
Do you think is that a slight to people that went to Harvard? Probably, right? You said they went to Stanford?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because it's Ivy League for Harvard. I'm sure they take offense to most things. I'm just guessing. All right, BT, we'll see you, buddy.
All right, see you, boys.
Lineup's out. We'll play the lineup game next on 101 ESPN.
For me, I'm a big, strong guy. If I wanted to put someone in jail, I easily could.
Gentlemen, listen up. The Medicine Shop in St. Charles is your destination for cheap ED meds. And I'm sure some of you right now are paying too much for ED meds, and that's okay. I understand. But that little blue pill and the gummy, chewy things and all that stuff, no, don't pay too much for those. The Medicine Shop has a generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. I've said this before. I've seen it advertised other places, but not at less than $2 a pill. Of course, prescription is required. And one of the great services that the Medicine Shop in St. Charles has is the free discreet shipping of any medicine to your home or your workplace. It's a massive help. Busy schedule, busy day, crazy times. Don't worry about it. They got you covered. They also have a full pharmacy available to you, so anything that you need, just head on in there. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. Tell them what you're looking for, or maybe it's allergies or something that you can't figure out. They're going to offer you some solutions. They are fantastic. They are the best in the business. So again, please get in there and see them. They'd love to see you. But if not, you can visit them online at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time to play the lineup game in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie, the first 6 hitters last night we did very well with.
Yeah.
Breezed through them. The last 3, not so much. So let's talk about today's lineup, shall we, as the Cardinals continue their series against the Minnesota Twins. By the way, it's weird. I can't remember a show. I've been here for, I think, 11 years now. I can't remember a show where we didn't talk about the game before. Like, they played last night.
Who did?
The Cardinals.
What?
I can't remember a game during the week where we didn't break it down in some way.
There's a lot to break down still, Anthony. We got 3 hours of radio to go here.
I'm sure we'll get to it.
The hell's your problem?
So the Cardinals continue their series against the Twins, we guess. Joe Ryan is going to be on the hill for the Twins. He's a right-hander, Jamie.
The old RHB.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The nude again, probably?
Yeah. Show me the grinder.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm grinding. I'm grinding.
All right.
Anthony?
Please show us the one and only Yukon Cornelius.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
Nice.
And Anthony, this guy here got me my hit. Or no, this guy didn't get me my hit. I had Goldie yesterday.
You had Goldie last night.
All right, either way, Nolan Arenado.
You're wrong.
Contreras, then.
Get him off his feet.
Or Gorman. Is Gorman back? Contreras?
I hope it's Gorman.
Gorman, Contreras.
Go ahead. I already screwed it up.
I'm going to say Contreras. Show us Wilson Contreras.
You are so wrong.
You got a little too ahead of yourself there, eh, buddy?
No, I didn't.
Show us. Nolan Gorman.
I got a little ahead of myself. I said it was either Gorman or Contreras. You said go for it. I already screwed it up.
I thought you were going to go with, I thought you were going to go with Gorman.
Oh.
That's why I was like, go for it.
I thought you meant go for it like you, here's your shot.
I communicated that poorly, Anthony. And you know what? For that moment alone, I apologize to you.
I was Eminem. I had one shot, you know? One chance. Mom's spaghetti. Didn't work out at all.
Didn't stay down at all.
Okay, so this
is your guy.
This is Nolan Arenado.
Nolan is a security guard at the lumber yard.
This is your other guy. This has got to be Contreras here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Show us that big Willie Contreras. Okay.
Boy, oh boy. I'm looking at beat the streak. We did terrible last night. Oh, you got Kepler.
Yeah, I had him.
And you had Goldie.
Yeah, Goldie.
So two of us did terrible.
We lost Andrew, though.
Yeah, Andrew's.
We need a new beat the streak contestant.
Andrew's gone.
Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry, Andrew.
See ya.
Okay, so we got Newt, Goldie, Gorman, Arenado, Contreras. What do you think? O'Neill here?
Yes.
Show us Tyler O'Neill.
My fingers hurt.
Oh, well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
I love that one so much.
I love too. Marty, these are high quality
quilts.
I think he says something. I think he says a curse word. But all right, Walker. Should we walk it like it's hot?
Yeah, at least till the 7th inning.
All right. Show us walk it like it's hot, please.
What a shame.
Oh. Wow. Interesting, Taylor Motter.
So last night it
Tommy
was
Edman.
Edman. How about Edman?
Sure.
Yeah.
Show us Tommy Edman.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, the Mott sauce got 2 hits last night.
Dylan Carlson still available.
Dylan Carlson 0 for gopher last night. I think this might be the Mott sauce.
Go ahead.
2 hits.
Go ahead.
Show us the Mott sauce.
What the H is wrong with you guys?
Contreras, maybe? Or not Contreras, excuse me. Kisner, I meant?
Slow down.
Kisner, maybe?
Slow down. You're running downhill right now. Slow down.
We're talking. I'm not saying
but I gotta
show
watch
us.
you.
I'm not saying show us. We're talking here.
I understand we're talking, but you start doing that, you just start firing names off because you get angry at yourself. Stop. Slow down. Smell the roses. Okay.
Deal.
I think it could be Dylan Carlson here.
Okay.
They need another outfielder.
Jamie, I want you to go with your gut.
All right, my gut says show us Dylan Carlson.
I'm sorry. It's wrong.
It's got to be Kisner then.
Yes.
This is a Contreras DH day.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Your turn.
Marsh, please show us Andrew Kisner.
No.
What in the H? You know what is going on here?
Okay, so we've got, did we say Walker?
We didn't say Burleson.
Did we say Walker? Did we try Walker
We
yet?
did. He was our first. We didn't say Burleson.
Okay. Yeah.
We've tried Motter.
Yeah, we have. You're right.
Show us Alec Burleson.
Some lefty-on-lefty magic from a guy like Nolan Gorman who's hitting near you in the lineup.
What? Okay. Now I think it's Mott sauce. I think he leaves Mott sauce right there in the 8 hole. 8 hole, Anthony.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, yeah. I like it.
Show us Mott sauce.
Not great.
Oh my God. The guy gets 2 hits, and you know you play him. Kisner? Edman.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm really getting.
Show us Tommy Edman, please.
That's just stupid.
All right. Forget. I'm running downhill now, too, Anthony. Show us Andrew Kisner. Son of a. Show us Dylan Carlson.
Show us Jose Fermin. Show us Jordan Walker.
Yeah, I thought he was out of the game.
We did it,
Jamie.
Jerry.
I actually think he was just out of the game.
We did it, though.
Idiot you are.
All right, Edman?
It's got to be.
Show us Tommy Edman. Okay, there we go.
Oh, my God, Anthony, that was
the
really
worst.
bad.
That matched the Cardinals' effort this season, right there. We just completely mailed it in.
That was tough.
Okay, Marsh, go ahead.
Leading off, center fielder Lars Taylor Tetsui Nootbaar. Batting second, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Batting third, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman
Nolan Arenado.
Batting fifth, the catcher Wilson Contreras. Batting sixth in left field, Tyler O'Neill. Batting seventh, the DH Alec Burleson. Batting eighth in right field, Jordan Walker. And batting ninth, the shortstop Tommy Edman.
Back. Stay fair. Stay fair.
Go Phil.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
Okay, Jamie.
Yeah.
You're still leading, so go for it, pal.
Boy, oh boy. I went with this guy yesterday. I'm going back with him again today. Paul Goldschmidt. RL Chalk, please.
I'm going to take the Newt. Newt's got a little power surge going. I'm going to go with Nootbaar. He's got 3 home runs in the last 5 games, so Lars Nootbaar for me.
What the hell? Are we not just running it back from yesterday? That was my guy.
Oh, do you want Newt?
No.
You can have Newt.
I'll take...
Okay.
Nolan Arenado.
We're running it back just in different order. Same 3 guys.
I thought we were... is that the standings right now?
I almost went to Gorman.
I forget what we do.
Oh, no, I'm in last. Okay. I'm in last for sure.
Sometimes I give you a second. Sometimes I'm like,
I meant, just getting Newt. Jamie's going with Goldie.
Oh, no, Marsh.
Yeah, you wanted to steal my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to lead off.
My guy.
He's going to hit a leadoff home run tonight. I feel it in my bones.
How would you feel if we took one of your guys?
Who's my guy?
I don't know.
Guys, I'm confirming it here right now, trying to find it, but sounds like Colton Wong was DFA'd.
He was, yeah. By the Mariners, yeah.
Wow.
Last night.
Bring him in.
Ooh.
Bring him in.
Why?
So we can play second.
We need another middle infielder.
You got Gorman to play second.
You have Taylor Motter.
You got Taylor Motter. You got Edmund to play second. You got
I shouldn't say anything about.
You got 42 second baseman.
I shouldn't say anything bad about Motter. He did get 2 base hits yesterday.
Did. Absolutely, he did.
Which is ridiculous why he's not in the lineup today.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our Sports Six Pack is next. If you have a question for us, the Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. Or if you're watching us right now on the YouTube channel, you can leave us a question there at 101 ESPN STL. Six Pack next.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
Time for a Sports Six-Pack. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions via the Air Comfort Service text line and our YouTube channel.
Question number 1.
All right, gentlemen, from the 618, which NFL team is flying most under the radar as a contender?
Oh, boy, Anthony.
Are we just talking about playoff contender, not Super Bowl contender? Or are we talking Super Bowl contender?
I'd say playoff contender. And then that's when you find out midway through the year if they're really a Super Bowl contender,
sure,
but playoff
So
contender.
just a playoff contender. I think the Green Bay Packers are flying under the radar. I think everybody just assumes that because Aaron Rodgers is in New York that the Packers are just going to fall apart. Jordan Love has been there now several years. He's, there is some advantage to not having to play and just kind of learn and observe and learn the offense. This is an inexperienced player, but he's not a rookie. Green Bay's defensive line or front seven is pretty good. The offensive line is pretty good. They've got some skill position players that need to mature, but I think the Green Bay Packers are flying under the radar as a playoff contender.
So this one may not be flying under the radar. I'll let you guys evaluate that. But I do know they're not in serious discussions, especially in their conference and in their division. Mm-hmm. The New England Patriots. I look at that team that now has an offensive coordinator, seems to have a very clear vision as to what they're doing with Mac Jones and the offense. They're still pursuing guys like Ezekiel Elliott, maybe add him for the running element for their game. I see them as an outsider that could probably poke their nose in here. If the Jets underperform and Tua, for whatever reason, doesn't have a great season, or maybe he gets injured again, unfortunately, could see the Patriots sneaking into the playoffs.
Okay.
That team, the Patriots, to your point, in my opinion, I think they're the fourth best team in that division. Mm-hmm. But when you have Bill Belichick as your head coach, I mean, look at their record last year. I didn't think that team was all that good last year, and they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Belichick's going to win you 3 or 4 games just based on him owning the other coaching staff, just by having a better game plan overall. So the other team is the Falcons. I think they're a wild card contender this year.
God.
You had them winning the division, Anthony.
No, I didn't.
He has them having a better record than the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, what a
for the Waffle House Challenge.
I had the Saints winning the division.
I don't know. You change it around so often.
I don't. I really don't.
Second wild
clear
card
on this.
Who do I think is going to be an underrated team in playoff contention? Oh, that's a good question. I made fun of them last week, but the more I hear about them, I'm thinking maybe the Panthers. I think the Panthers, I mean, they were right around that spot last year. I know the NFC South was just horrid, but they could be a team that could maybe make some noise.
I mean,
potentially. Depends on how good Bryce Young
roster. Yeah, it's a decent roster. If Young is good out of the gates, I could see that. It's not a no way in hell.
I think when you look at both conferences, the NFC is probably the one where you could have a little bit of a shakeup. I think the AFC, it's just too tight. There's too many good teams.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a sleeper or under the radar contender in the AFC. Based on your point, Marsh. I did give you my really deep sleeper the one time. Houston.
Wow.
I mean,
they're nocturnal. Not nocturnal. Yeah, that's what it would be.
They're half dead.
That's what you were. Yeah, the makers in full tilt that time for sure.
New coach bump.
Oh yeah.
CJ Stroud stepping in.
Hell of a bump.
Anthony had a vision.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Next question, please.
Question number 2.
This is not question number 2, but we did get a text from the 314. Is the Waffle House Challenge really happening? Yes.
I think we agreed. We agreed to it.
We virtually shook hands.
It's verbally binding contract.
It is, yeah. And if the two teams finish with the same record,
Jamie has to do
it. That's going to be awesome.
Which is totally in play.
It's totally in play.
Yeah. By the way, Alan tweeted at us about 10 minutes ago. Apparently, we guessed Edmund twice.
We don't care anymore. We don't care.
In the line of game. If you missed that, we were horrible.
We not only were we running downhill, we tripped and fell forward and rolled downhill. We didn't care anymore at all.
And as we were tumbling, we were just shouting out names.
Spitting out names.
Yeah. Edmund!
We may have said Edmund 3 times for all I care.
Right.
I have no idea.
What's the move? Is it Hot Rod where he falls down the hill and just keeps on rolling for what seems to be like 2 minutes straight?
I've never seen Hot Rod.
I can't remember which movie
But
it is.
Farley did it
that's what it is.
in
It's
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep. Yeah.
And he keeps going and going, and then he goes, I think, hold on, little twig. Or branch or something. Hold on, little branch.
Oh, that's great. All right, so anyways, question number 2 from the 636. More likely to happen, Jordan Bennington finishes his career as a Blue, or Jordan Walker finishes his career in the infield?
That's it.
I think the infield. Yeah,
Jordan Walker finishing his career. That's a natural progression for those guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought you were going to say, or Jordan Walker finishing his career with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay, what if it's that one then?
I mean, you got a little bit longer to project.
Yeah. I would say that Bennington would be more likely to finish his career as a Blue. No, just because, look at Albert Pujols. He played his way out of St. Louis by playing so well, and the same could be said for Jordan Walker if
Pujols finished his career here.
No, but he left, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that if Walker's really good, come free agency time, when he's going to want that 8 or 9 year deal, and the Cardinals go, no, we'll offer you 2 or 3, he's going to say, it's been nice. Take care.
Sure.
By the way, did you see last night where he missed first base, or allegedly missed
His
first
heel
base?
grazed it.
I mean, look, first of all, stuff happens, okay? Second of all, his heel grazed it, Marsh.
He was safe.
I saw it. I saw the instant replay blown up to 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the back of his pant leg.
Yeah,
slightly brushed it.
Yes, that's all that matters.
That's
all that matters.
Yeah.
But I just thought
Marsh, how about you back off, okay?
Why are you on the Walker hate train?
I don't understand. I don't understand what. I mean, what's his problem right now?
I don't have a
with
problem.
Jordan
I will
Walker?
say, just touch first base. Just step on it.
Earlier it's Anthony going after Goldie. You're going after Walker now.
I wasn't going after Goldie.
Well, you were.
I was trying to get you pitching.
You were going after him.
I wasn't going after him. I just was trading him.
Yeah, for pitching.
Well, the deadline's gone, buddy boy.
Big league pitching. You got an entire offseason.
I'm just saying, him missing first base, that's the Cardinals' season.
I mean, sure.
In 2023.
So you're blaming Walker for this year?
No, I'm not blaming.
That's what I'm hearing, Jamie.
Jamie, you just said yesterday, Anthony, don't put things in Marshy's mouth.
Yeah,
and
now
I
you're
never
putting
have,
stuff
and
in
I
my
never
mouth.
will.
I didn't put it in your mouth. You spit it right out.
No.
You did. I'm just going with what you did.
Oh, boy. Okay. Jamie.
Question number 3.
I mean, why? At this point, why?
Go-kart.
Just a random go-karts.
From the 217, should Major League Baseball allow draft picks to be traded?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I don't understand. Well, there's 112 rounds of drafting, so how would that work? That'd be kind of funny. We'll trade you our 48th round draft pick for your
45th
A-ball shortstop.
Yeah. That would lead to a lot of GMs going, who the hell is our A-ball shortstop? Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Why does baseball have so many draft picks? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know.
Hockey,
and they've pared it down.
Hockey has the same amount of teams as baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Why does hockey only have 7 rounds? And baseball has 60, 70, 80? How many rounds?
More minor leagues to fill. That would be my guess.
Why?
Why do they have more minor leagues to fill?
Yeah, how many leagues do they have? Because you got the AHL, you got the East Coast League, you've got the Southern Professional League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got 3 leagues to fill underneath the NHL.
You got A, high A, rookie ball, double A, triple A. You got 5 in baseball. Yeah. It's a lot of teams to fill.
I mean, it is.
More positions.
It just seems
more
stupid.
Positions in baseball.
It just seems stupid.
Bigger rosters.
Not really. Well, yeah, I guess there's a 40-man roster, but not everybody on the 40-man plays.
Mm-hmm. I've given
it's
you
part of your 40-mans in the minors.
Here's the thing, Jamie. I feel good about my answers. I gave you like 3 or 4. The fact that you're not accepting it, that's on you.
So you're stupid.
Okay.
Question number 4.
Question 4, please.
From the 618, let's go back to the gridiron. Now that Justin Fields actually has a number 1 wide receiver, do you think he can make a jump and play somewhat similar to what Jalen Hurts did in his 3rd year?
Well, no offense to DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is not A.J. Brown. Justin Fields needs to mature within the system as opposed to just relying on the number 1 wide receiver. In other words, I don't think Justin Fields' maturation is going to go hand in hand with the fact that he's got DJ Moore. Jalen Hurts made the jump because the Eagles did such a great job of developing the system around Hurts' strengths. And he matured within that system. The biggest key in football is play caller, quarterback, marry the system to the quarterback. Andy Reid did that with Patrick Mahomes. Bill Walsh did that with Joe Montana. The Patriots did that. Bill Belichick's a defensive guy, but his offensive coordinators, mostly Josh McDaniels, did that with Tom Brady. Marry the system to the QB and then fill around him. So DJ Moore, with all due respect, good player. He's not in the same hemisphere as guys like Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs and some of these other prototypical number 1 wide receivers. Justin Fields needs to improve his decision making. That is where his maturation is going to come. And a lot of people are like, well, he's got, he had great accuracy at Ohio State. I don't care what he did at Ohio State. It's a different game now. And looking over to the sidelines and seeing what your play is, and then looking at your, how the defense is set up with wider hash marks does nothing for me in terms of how his accuracy is going to translate to the next level. Does he look to run? Is he getting a one read, 2 reads, or is he getting a 3 to 4 and maturing that way? Is his processing getting quicker? That to me is all more important than who's his number 1 wide receiver.
Question number 5.
We got a message in our YouTube chat from Ryan. He says, please join the boycott of Busch Stadium 3. They don't deserve your hard-earned money. Anthony, will you be boycotting Busch Stadium 3 and holding Mo accountable?
Yeah, let me get that petition going. I'll start the old petition in the break. See how many signatures we get this time, Jamie.
Yeah, I like your idea.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
High energy.
I feel like the petition usually works.
It's very highly regarded.
Yeah.
How many signatures?
I'm going to aim for 10.
Yeah, that's a good start.
10 to 11.
Yeah, 10 to 11. And then we'll just build from there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Mike Sando has his quarterback tiers. That article that he does every year where he sits down with various GMs and scouts and puts quarterbacks into tiers. Well, we got a questionnaire based off those tiers. That's next on 101 ESPN. The Missouri Athletic Club, at the end of the month, they've got a speaker series set up. They've got Joe Buck and they've got Chip Carey that are coming in and talking about the history of St. Louis Cardinals baseball and what it means, what the organization has meant to not only the game, but also they're going to talk about from a broadcasting standpoint, and some of the best broadcasters to ever do it, of course, came right through here in St. Louis, and we're broadcasting for the Cardinals. But the Missouri Athletic Club, when it comes to events and their downtown spot, man, they do it better than anybody. I love going down there and taking part in some of their speaker series or some of the events that they hold throughout the course of the year, and they've always got great events like that going on. West Clubhouse, perfect for working out and using their business center and networking and taking part of some of the clubs, not only for me as an individual, but for the family as well. Love the Missouri Athletic Club. It's my MAC.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards made a few trades yesterday right before Major League Baseball's deadline. Paul DeJong to the Toronto Blue Jays and Jack Flaherty to the Baltimore Orioles. Last night, the Twins got the best of the Cards 3-2. The Cards will take on the Twins once again tonight. Dakota Hudson on the mound going up against Joe Ryan at 6:45 first pitch. We had our guy BT join us in the first hour of the show. If you missed any of that, go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We're going to talk some NFL. Mike Sando's QB tiers. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Mike Sando has done a great job over the years handing out his QB tiers, and it's not his opinion. You know, a lot of people are like, they'll start chirping at him because he has a quarterback in a certain tier that they don't agree with. These tiers are based on GMs that he talks to, scouts that he talks to, coordinators that have played these, have schemed against these quarterbacks in the past, things like that. That's what I think is cool about it. It's not just his opinion. So we put together a little questionnaire, boys, based on these quarterback tiers of Mike Sando at The Athletic. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready for this. I love this stuff.
All right.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, Marshy, Jamie, which quarterback in Tier 1 has the most at stake this upcoming season? Your Tier 1 quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert. Who's got the most at stake?
So when I looked at this list, initially, I thought it was easy. Then I realized it's not as easy as I thought, because right away I was like, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, like the whole, the kerfuffle of the trade and the New York Jets and all the stuff, right? Yeah. But then I looked right above him at Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And I went, who really has the most at stake here? Mm-hmm. Because Josh Allen, that window of winning up in Buffalo has to be shrinking a little bit. And they haven't gotten it done. And the flip side of that is Aaron Rodgers is going to the New York Football Jets that haven't gotten it done in, I don't know, like forever.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to err on the side of Aaron Rodgers, though, because I feel like the runway is a lot shorter for him to make an impact. Whereas Josh Allen, although the window seems to be closing a little bit, he's still got time. So I'll go with Aaron Rodgers.
Marsh?
I'm going Josh Allen. I think his turnovers have just been so costly for his team that if he doesn't put it together here this upcoming season in the red zone and he ends up costing his team another chance at least getting to the AFC Championship, man, the media is going to just,
lambaste him.
Yeah, Josh Allen, we've been talking about the Bills for the past, what seems like 3 seasons now, about the team to beat. This is the team to beat in the AFC. And it just ends up being Mahomes. And the Chiefs every single time. And then you have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, obviously, is injured right now. I was thinking maybe Joe Burrow, but I don't see him coming back onto the field until he has a contract. So he's fine. It's got to be Josh Allen. You look at Aaron Rodgers, I don't think there's any pressure on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I know there's a lot of noise surrounding that team, but I don't think there's any pressure. He already said that he plans on being there for a few years.
Yeah.
So, team's super young. To me, he seems like a new dude, has a new outlook on life after he went to the darkness. So I'm going Josh Allen.
Here's how I looked at this. If these quarterbacks don't get it done, and don't get it done could mean a variety of things. So for Mahomes, it might be don't get it done, they lose in the AFC title game or the Super Bowl, right? If he doesn't get it done for the Chiefs, What are we talking about? We're talking about the other team, probably, in that case. The Bengals. Oh, look at the Bengals. Look what they did to the Chiefs. Or they get to the Super Bowl, whoever upsets the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, right? We're talking about that team. What a marvelous team that is, okay? We're not talking about Mahomes. If Joe Burrow doesn't get it done, we're probably talking, again, about the other team or maybe Mahomes or the fact that the Bengals lost a lot of talent in the offseason and, now they got to figure out how to pay Burrow. We're not talking about Burrow. Aaron Rodgers, who are we talking about? Well, it's the curse of the Jets. What are you going to do? Jets don't win anything, so not Aaron Rodgers' fault. Herbert, you got Brandon Staley. I mean, Brandon Staley, a coaching staff, bunch of rubes, right? We're not blaming Herbert. If the Bills don't get it done, Allen's getting the blame.
Wow.
He is. Allen will get the blame. I'm not saying he'll get all of it.
Wow.
But it's going to be Allen. It's going to be Allen not getting it done. Allen not taking that next step. Allen not elevating the talent around him like Burrow, like Mahomes. To me, it's Josh Allen.
Do you think a problem with that team is that they play in Buffalo outside? I've heard many people say that team is a turf, an indoor team.
Well, I said that. I said that after the loss of the Bengals. Remember, I said,
"Oh, that's right." Yeah.
I said, "Look, this is a dome team that plays outside.
They're soft.
They get pushed around. Cincinnati pushed them around. So yeah, that's absolutely what I think.
Bring them here. They can play here.
What if they put a top on the stadium?
You're in Buffalo. You should still play to the elements
on the field.
I think you have the advantage. Why give it away?
Tarp over the top of the stadium.
Did Jim Kelly need a tarp? No. Come on. Now, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but he got there 4 times.
He did get there an awful lot.
Which QB in Tier 2 do you think could be in Tier 1 when Sando does these rankings next year? Your Tier 2 quarterbacks.
So someone from the B squad moving up to the A squad.
Essentially. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Marshy's favorite guy, Cousins.
I don't even know how you put him there.
Tier 2.
Are you serious? Look at his stats.
He is a stats monster.
Did you see what Swan tagged us in?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take Kirk Cousins over Joe Burrow.
You know what? You take Cousins, Marshy. I'll take Burrow. Let's see what happens, huh?
Well, your guy's hurt right now, so
he'll be fine.
All right, Marshy, you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking Jalen Hurts. He's my guy. Helped me win a fantasy football championship. But I think I could go with Trevor Lawrence. I like what Doug Peterson's doing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, man, they have some weapons on that team. Not that the Eagles don't, but I really was impressed with what Trevor Lawrence did in the playoffs this past season.
Jamie?
I'm going with Lamar Jackson. All roads lead to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens having success.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he has a lot to prove. I think that now that the contract thing is out of the way, I think you got a motivated, healthy Lamar Jackson. He is a phenomenal talent. They've added some pieces around him. I'm going to go with Lamar.
So I love Lamar. Lamar would be my choice as well. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a bad choice. And Marsh, I think your Trevor Lawrence pick is interesting. So can I give you a not so obvious one?
Sure.
Not so obvious? Is it Kirk Cousins?
Deshaun Watson.
I thought about that.
Because he hasn't been a Tier 1 quarterback, but he was on that path for a while. Now, he didn't play a lot of football the last couple of years. We know why.
What happened?
But once
Clearly not a Bart Starr Award winner.
Clearly not.
No, but he's got the talent, and he's still young enough. So I could see him behind a pretty good offensive line in Cleveland, a good running game. I could see him having a good year. All right, Tier 3. This one's kind of interesting. I termed it this way. Looking at this tier, I feel like this is the group that is most likely to be scrutinized one way or another leading up to the year, okay? So which quarterback in this Tier 3 has the best chance to prove doubters wrong? And this is a longer list. I'll run through it quickly. Kyler Murray, who's hurt, so that's going to be a tough one to pick. Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Russ Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, Jimmy G, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Ryan Tannehill, and Mac Jones. So which quarterback in this group has the best chance to prove his doubters wrong?
So
whatever those doubters might be saying.
I've been reading a lot of stuff that's out there, and there seem to be a lot of people that are high on this guy, talking about how he could have a career year, that he'll catapult himself into, discussion with some of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Wow.
And I don't know if I see it, but they're obviously way more in tune with things than I am. Justin Fields. Justin Fields is being talked about like he's going to have an absolute monster season for the Bears. So I look at this group, and as far as you look at all-around talent is concerned, he might have the most talent overall as far as the running, the passing, all that stuff. If it all does click for him, he could have a great year.
Marsh?
Daniel Jones is at the bottom of this list for me. I'm going to go with...
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes. I don't like that guy. I'm going to go with Derek Carr. Anthony, I think you may pick him, and you picked my my home run pick. So I'm gonna take Derek Carr. I was thinking maybe Jared Goff, but when I think of the question and doubters, I don't know if Jared Goff has a ton of doubters right now. There's a lot of people that are high on the Lions. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Derek Carr just because of how his season ended. And I think he is, looking at all these quarterbacks, I think he's the best one on this list. So that is healthy, at least. I mean, when Kyler Murray is on his game and he's healthy, he's a good quarterback. He just, doesn't really look at the playbook for more than 4 hours.
Right.
Well, you can hardly tell.
Jamie, that's your guy.
Marsh, yeah, he's my guy, all right.
Marsh, you're absolutely right. I'm going to pick Derek Carr as well. He's got the best team around him. I think that he's in a spot where, boy, the Saints are going to win that division, and he's got good talent around him, good defense. For the first time in his career, he's got a good defense. So I think Derek Carr. I don't know how many doubters there are of Carr outside of the.
I just think he doesn't quite get the respect he deserves.
Yeah, so I think this is his year to maybe turn some heads. All right, last one. Which quarterback in Tier 4 will be the biggest and best surprise this season? Brock Purdy, Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love, Shaky Bakey, Sam Howell from Washington, Desmond Ridder, or Gardner Minshew, who I know you love, and you do too.
Francis's son?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. You talking about Howell?
Yeah.
Thurston Howell.
I'm gonna go with Jordan Love. It matches with what I said with the Packers in the Sports Six Bet. I think Jordan Love is gonna have a good year.
Okay.
There's a reason why this guy went in the first round.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Piss off Aaron Rodgers.
Johnny Manziel also went in the first round.
So did Baker Mayfield. So did Ryan Leaf.
Shaky Bakey. Shaky Bakey had one half of a good year, okay? So
what are you talking about?
Back down.
He had a great game with the Los Angeles Rams.
He did have one hell of a game.
One hell of a drive.
Considering that he learned the playbook in a 3-hour flight, part of the playbook, I'll give him a lot of credit.
You should, Anthony.
Now, I still think he does. I still think he does better commercials than he is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Give me Jordan Love.
All right, I'm going to go with Brock Purdy in this one. And the reason I'm going with Brock Purdy is how can anybody fail with that offense?
That's true.
I'm just saying, just get the ball out of your hands, son.
Yeah.
Just get it to the guys who make the plays.
Very true.
I'm going to go with Minshew Mania, Gardner Minshew, and it's not because I have a Gardner Minshew jersey.
Why is it then?
It's because you got a Minshew mustache?
It's not because I have a Minshew mustache myself.
Is it because you dressed like him for Halloween one year?
That's not it at all. I think it's because he's a good quarterback. And if he plays the way he did against the Dallas Cowboys when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles last season, if he can do that for 17 games this season,
man,
they're going to have
even
a good
starter?
team.
For now. Yeah.
For now. He's going to surprise you, Anthony. That's the whole point of the exercise.
All right. Take it easy over there. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. How would you handle the starting rotation for the Cardinals the rest of the season? That's next.
Just pray.
On 101 ESPN.
Window World, the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, is by far the best at replacement windows. So much so that they're ranked number 1 in number of windows sold in the country. That's by Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years of business, they have improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in the St. Louis area. And why is that? Well, because they have a double-strength glass that gives it a strength that you just don't find in ordinary replacement windows. And what that means is obviously a stronger window. That's great. But when you have a stronger glass, it keeps the heat out in the summer and it keeps the cold out in the winter. And it keeps money in your wallet. You're not paying for all that stuff. They also offer a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, the glass breakage, and the labor. And Window World is still offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So please, if you're in the market for replacement windows, give them a call. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. That number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or look them up at windowworld.com.
Yeah, I think it's a little early to determine who's going to fill that, what that's going to look like. Do we think there's some candidates in that? Of course. I think what we really did was add a lot of pitching depth to our system. And so we'll allow that to play out. But we still know there's work to do. We still know we're probably going to have to be active on the free agent market. We certainly want to get back to winning. We don't want to have to relive this anytime soon. So we certainly understand the challenges moving forward.
You better be active, spending money. You never better be this way again. St. Louis. We expect a winner.
Yeah, we do.
That was John Mozeliak spewing garbage. Not really, honestly.
What?
I mean, it kind of makes sense what he's talking about. You don't know what the rotation's going to look like next year because you're going to have to be active in free agency.
Well, you only have 2 guys. That's a start.
Yeah. So what do you do for the rest of this year, Jamie? Better yet, what do you want to see the Cardinals do the rest of the year? Because you got Michaelis, you got Matz, you got Waino, and then that's it. So other two spots, Dakota Hudson starts tonight.
Well, Hudson and Liberatore have been the de factos here. I believe that John Mozeliak may have even said it, or Ollie, one of them said it's, for the time being, it's Hudson and Liberatore.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And in fact, I think they went as far as to say that Liberatore will be in the rotation the rest of the year, so he gets regular starts and they can see what they have.
I'm good with that. And if Liberatore falls on his face, then can we have the conversation about him going to the bullpen?
Yeah.
You're going to need bullpen help too. I'm not talking about absolutely having to use him in I'm not talking about completely eliminating him from every discussion ever again in the starting pitching, but why wouldn't you look at him as a lefty out of the pen next year?
I would. For the rest of the year, I would. I mean, who cares, right? Like, he can stretch out again, do all that stuff in the offseason. I do think he's too young to move on from him completely. I think he gets another shot come spring training next year. And this is all assuming he doesn't have a good finish to the season.
Yeah.
Dakota Hudson, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this guy's been given so many chances, and it's just not working. And I don't know how you could do it. Like, I look at hockey, and if you have a defenseman, let's say, that you got two young defensemen in your 6 guys that are dressing, and every third game or whatever, you want to healthy scratch a guy and put a young guy in for him because you want to see the young guy get some reps and whatnot. So I was trying to put together a scenario here earlier today where I was like, every time, Dakota Hudson goes tonight, and then the next time he comes up in the rotation, maybe McGreevy goes. And then the next time up, it's Hudson. But then Hudson's sitting on the shelf forever then.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. Unless you put him in relief on the days where he doesn't go, he's first guy out of the bullpen, piggybacking on the McGreevy thing. And then the next time when he starts, you have another person, a young guy, piggybacking Hudson, meaning like maybe Grisefo's up the next time. You call him up as or Zach Thompson is a guy that you give some chances to.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know the equation that makes sense right now. I'd have to whittle away at a little bit more. But that's what I want to see. I want to know for sure that it's time to either move on from Dakota Hudson or maybe there's a chance for him to compete. I want to know about Liberatore. I want to know about Grisefo, McGreevy. If it's too early for them, show me it's too early for them.
Right. Prove it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Liberatore starting the rest of the year. This is a blank or get off the pot situation time, I think, with Liberatore, not from the standpoint of you DFA or move on from him, but again, maybe you look at him more as a reliever. I don't think Dakota Hudson's a starter at the big league level. I don't think Jake Woodford is a starter at the big league level. If you want to give him an opportunity in the pen the rest of the way, fine. I would rather watch those guys than veterans. Veterans that you signed off the scrap heap just to kind of fill some spots. Have an open competition. To me, spring training doesn't have to start in spring training. You can start right now.
No, you're right.
And you get to see them in games that still matter for other teams. So I would really say one of the young guys coming in, I'm with you. One of the young guys coming up, fill out that other spot instead of Dakota Hudson. I'm game. If you got to wait a couple of weeks because of the clock situation, fine.
Yeah,
but
what about roster spots? Because I'm getting a lot of texts here. It's like, roster spots, Jamie, roster spots.
You can't find You can't find somebody on the 40-man to replace?
Well, who do you have right now that, I guarantee you have guys on your 40-man now because of yesterday's deadline that you can option back and forth. Yeah, for the rest of the season. The Memphis shuttle is real.
You can option Dakota Hudson. You can option Jojo Romero if you want to. I mean, there's plenty of guys on that spot. I get the roster situation. I understand you can't just call somebody up, but my word, this team stinks. You can't find one guy on the 40-man to kick off or one guy on the 26-man that you sent to Memphis?
Mater.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Mater's been DFA'd 14 times already.
Yeah.
He knows the drill.
He'll be signed again.
Probably. He's got pictures of somebody. Gauntlet next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If you need a new ride, Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum has got to be your spot. They've got 700 vehicles on the lot, ready to go, ready for you to test drive, to look at the financing options for, look at the add-ons and all that. 700 vehicles on the lot, ready to go in one spot. That's right. Out in Herculaneum, brand new facility. It's been open only a few months now. They have vehicles that are brand new. They have certified pre-owned vehicles as well. So whether you're looking at cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, doesn't matter. They've got them. They got financing options available too. Every single person that is looking for a ride that goes down Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, they will find the best available financing options for you. So you can drive off the lot, have peace of mind that you know you got a solid, reliable vehicle that you can pay for each month. And they're also going to give you the free nationwide lifetime warranty that goes with all new Nissans, as well as a 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you need to bring that vehicle back, no problem. It's all available at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
Time for the Gauntlet in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh here as well. And we've got Jake participating in the Gauntlet today. What's up, Jake?
What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday.
Happy hump day to you as well, my man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's a hump day. Jamie, you get it over the hump. The rest of the week is smooth sailing. That's what they say.
Hoping.
Roman times. Yep. Jake, first time in the Gauntlet?
Yes, sir. Yes, first time. Long-time listener, first-time player.
Well, we appreciate you listening, and thanks for playing today. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, or the Anthony Stalter?
You know what? I think I'm going to go big or go home. I'm going to take on the Anthony Stalter.
Oh, I pointed at Jamie. I thought you were going Jamie there. All right. Well, Jake, good luck, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Better go bone up on hockey.
Yeah, you better. All right, Jake. What we need from you right now is to tell DJ Marshy Marsh to spin that wheel.
Marshy, go ahead and give that wheel a big old spin.
All right, Jake. So what category do you not want to see?
Well, I almost don't want to say because I know I'm going to get it, but I don't want to see probably football or random.
Okay, good news for you, Jake. It's not football.
Okay.
Bad news, it's random.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's go.
But the good news about random is it really is equal because Anthony or Marshy or I, we have no idea either. That's not a specialty of ours, and Marshy's getting the launch codes here. All right, go over the rules real quick. I know you're probably familiar with them, but we'll go over them just in case. Each question is worth 2 points. If you answer it without the options correctly, you get those 2 points. If you use the options, answer correctly, it's only worth 1 point. And of course, if you just answer it wrong, you get nothing. Jake, are you ready to roll?
Ready as I'll ever be. Let's go.
All right, buddy. Again, the category is random. Question number 1. Who was the MVP of the NBA last season?
Nikola Jokic.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. What is the medical term for ringing in the ear?
Oh, brother. I'm going to go ahead and take the options on that one.
Yeah, please.
The options are tinnitus. Oh, I don't even know how to say this. Atalgia or polydipsia.
Oh, brother. I have no idea. So I'm going to go with tinnitus, I guess. I have no idea.
Final answer?
Final answer, yes, sir.
All right, Jake, question 3. Who is the most followed athlete in the world on Instagram?
Oh, I have no idea. I would think I could be like a tennis player, but I'm not sure. I want to say a golfer. I'm going to take the options. I'm not too sure here.
All right. Your options are Lionel Messi, Tom Brady, or Cristiano Ronaldo.
I wasn't right on tennis or golf, so Lionel Messi or Ronaldo. I don't think it's Tom Brady. I want to say it's Messi or Ronaldo. I'm gonna go Cristiano Ronaldo. Final answer.
Question number 4. The original Wii Sports video game has 5 main sports: bowling, baseball, golf, tennis, and which other sport?
Boxing. Final answer.
All right. Okay, Jake, let's see if we can get Anthony here. Had to knock on the window. Anthony's half asleep in there.
Just not ready.
He's not ready. He's not prepared. I can feel it already.
That's a good sign for me.
Yeah. Anthony's plugging his ears in here now.
Looked like you were doing wind sprints in the studio.
Well, you knocked, so I thought I didn't see maybe a call in, so I got on my horse.
All right. Okay, Anthony. Well, better pack a lunch. All right?
Okay. Hockey.
In 1997, which team won the Stanley Cup in 5 games in the final?
Well, the Rangers won in 94. 96. The Avalanche did. Final answer.
All right, the category's random.
What was 96?
It was the Red Wings.
Was it the Wings?
Yeah, they went back-to-back.
Makes sense.
Back to back. All right, your category's random.
Random,
Focus,
this might be even
Anthony.
worse. Okay.
Question number 1. Who was the MVP in the NBA last season?
Oh, our guy, Joel Embiid. One of the best in the regular season. Joel Embiid, final answer.
Question number 2. What is the medical term for ringing in the ear?
You know you've experienced this, Anthony.
Tinnitus. Final answer.
Did your face hit the side of the pool?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Jamie.
Well, no, you're fine, Anthony. You're fine. Question 3. Who is the most followed athlete in the world on Instagram?
Oh, I don't know. Can I have the options, please?
Yeah. Is it Lionel Messi?
Sure.
Tom Brady?
Maybe.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh, it's got to be Ronaldo. I'll go with the Ronaldo. Final answer.
Question number 4. The original Wii Sports video game has 5 main sports: bowling, baseball, golf, tennis, and which other sport?
What? Can you say that again for me?
The original Wii Sports video game has 5 main sports: bowling, baseball, golf, tennis, and which other sport?
I don't know. Can I have the options, please?
Options are wrestling, boxing, basketball.
I'm just thinking about like the way that the video game is played, and I think basketball and wrestling would have been way too hard. Basketball maybe, but I think boxing, with the way that the Wii controllers work, I think boxing makes sense. So I'm just going to go with boxing. Final answer.
All right, fellas, let's go over this. Let's start right there. Question 4. The original Wii Sports video game has 5 main sports: bowling, baseball, golf, tennis, and which other sport? Jake, you went with boxing. Anthony, you went with boxing. Answer is...
Well, everybody remembers Matt as the trainer for boxing.
But Jake, you did not need the options.
Nice job, Jake.
So Jake up 2-1.
I was pretty confident about that one.
Good for you. Nice job.
After
nice job.
1.
Thank you.
Let's go to question number 2. What is the medical term for ringing in the ear? Jake, you went with tinnitus. Anthony, you went with tinnitus. Answer is?
It is tinnitus.
But Anthony did not need the options.
All right.
So we are tied up at 3 after 2. Let's go to question 3. Who is the most followed athlete in the world on Instagram? Jake, you went with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow, Jake.
Anthony, you went with Cristiano Ronaldo. The answer is
Cristiano Ronaldo.
And you both used the options.
Jake, this is a barn burner, baby. This is a shootout.
Coming down to the wire.
Nice.
This is it.
So we're tied?
This is it. 4-4 headed into the last question. Who was the MVP in the NBA last season? Jake, you went with Jokic. Anthony, you went with Embiid. The answer is
Joel Embiid.
Jake.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
That was a good one, Jake.
Anthony got you on that one, and he didn't use the option. So 6-4 today for our guy Antoine.
That was a great battle, Jake. That was good.
As soon as you said Embiid, I knew it. As soon as you said it, I knew it.
So the Joker won the Finals MVP in the MVP the previous season, but
I think that's why his head stuck out in my, or his name stuck out in my head there.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. Embiid came to mind quickly because I had made fun of him for, of course, he won the regular season one.
You're a huge basketball fan.
I do like basketball a lot, yeah. Wait, Jake, great job, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful day.
You too.
Have a good rest of your week.
All right, you too, Jake. Thank you. Have a good one.
See ya.
Shout out to my college roommate, Jim Schultz.
Okay.
Who had tinnitus.
Oh.
In his ear. Like kind of I mean, he's good now, but he's got tinnitus, but he got in a car accident. He had a car accident. Unfortunately, his buddy and him, they were driving. His buddy fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh,
got in an accident. He smashed his ear up against the window, so he's got a constant ringing in his ear. So every time we walked to class, I always had to switch sides. So that's why I knew that one.
I had a ringing in my ear a few times for days on end.
Yeah?
Yeah. For real.
From hockey?
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
You hit in the head?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, it's annoying as hell.
Yep.
I have to take the phone and use the other ear to talk
That's
on
what
the
you got to
phone.
do. Yeah.
But, it went away. Eventually.
I mean, for him, he's got it now. This is it. But for him to tell the story when he didn't realize it. He got in the car accident, he's banged up. But the first time he realized, he picked up the phone he told his mom, he's like, hey, Mom, the phone is ringing. The phone is ringing. And his mom's like, the phone's not ringing. So realized there was an issue,
somebody pick up the damn phone.
Yeah, so that's how it was. But he's turned it into a complete, like, hey, I live with it. This is what it is. It's not disability. I'm still going to do everything that I set out to do and all that. He had a rough time early on with it, but inspirational story, man. Can you believe that? I mean, just constant ringing in your ear.
No thanks.
Yep. So, anyways, all right. That's the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN.
Good job,
our guy, thank you. I felt good about the first two. Guessed on the other ones. What?
I'm not going to say the area code just in case it gets this guy in trouble. We'll just say a texter.
Okay.
Said, I feel like every time my girlfriend talks, I have it too.
Jeremy Rutherford next on 101 ESPN.
time for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey, here we go.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Let's head to our celebrity line. We have Jeremy Rutherford on the line. He's our Blues insider with The Athletic. What's up, JR?
Oh, not too much. Just a second here. My wife's talking. Beep.
Oh, JR.
No, come on. Don't.
I know you don't mean that. And I've met your wife. She's an incredible woman, and she could probably kick your ass.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
And the tough part is I saw her just back out of the driveway and go down the street, so I know she's listening. So.
Oh, and she probably tuned. She's like, I can't wait to hear what my husband says on the radio.
We're going to hear a screech of tires here in a second. She'll be like, I'm back.
And we're just going to guess what happens as we listen to your audible screams. Anyways, hey, JR, you observed what Doug Armstrong did at the deadline during the hockey season. How do you think Mo did as a seller for his deadline?
Yeah, I was watching, paying attention. You know, it was kind of slow there for a while, but, you know, talking to GMs like Doug Armstrong for so many years, you understand a couple things. And the number one is that it's a deadline league, right? So you wait until the last minute to kind of make those trades. Teams want to see who's available. And, you know, dominoes started to fall with Verlander. And so finally they get the Flaherty deal done. And, you know, from my perspective, looks like they did okay. They did what they had to do, right? You never know about these young prospects. So it's just weird for me as a Blues writer for the last 20 years to actually watch the Cardinals have to do that.
Yeah, good call on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they hope to never do it again.
Yeah, no kidding. JR, I don't think we've talked since the Vladimir Tarasenko signing. So just your initial thoughts on how all of that went down, and then your thoughts on the reports that he turned down other deals and basically ended up with a one-year deal.
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, I really am surprised that he wound up in Ottawa, and I do understand that was kind of the trail to follow early on. Ottawa was one of the first teams mentioned. I just didn't think that Tarasenko and his family would eventually settle in Ottawa. I did think wherever he went, it would probably be a one-year deal, and I think that's the case because of the cap right now. You know, it's only going up $1 million. It's going to go up $4 or $5 million in the next couple of years. You'd kind of be silly to sign a 4 or 5 year deal, I think, because you're probably shortchanging yourself some money. You know, that said, you'll be a year older next year. Can you get another 4 or 5 year deal? Maybe not. But I think going to a team like Ottawa, he can put up some points, he can score some goals, and he's likely to get a 2, 3, 4 year deal, probably somewhere else next year. Jamie, I don't know how you read it, but the fact that he turned down a 4-year offer at 5.5 to stay in Ottawa for the 4 years, you know, speaks to me, him signing the 1 year deal, that he didn't want to be there long term.
Yeah, it's either that or he believes his value is greater and feels like he's going to get a chance to get right back to negotiating after 1 year. And I think that knowing Vladdy, I think that's the latter. I think he still believes in himself quite a bit, and I think he was a little bit ticked off that maybe some of the longer, bigger offers weren't brought his way this year.
Right, and there were other offers, and I actually do have some reports on some numbers for those offers. In fact, in Florida, I keep writing low ball offer, and people are asking me, well, how low ball are you talking? You know, I heard the offer in Florida, they don't have a lot of cap room, was $800,000 to come down and play for the Panthers next year. Also, Vegas had an offer from Vegas, $2 million for next season. Obviously, they're having cap trouble too, but that's a team where you could have went in and scored some goals and probably built up your resume and show people that you can play and get a bigger deal next year. And then also San Jose, and I think that was in the range of $5 million for 1 year. So he settles in at $5 million with Ottawa. I'd be surprised if he signs long term there, but he's going to have a chance, like you said, to show how proud he is and put himself back on the map next summer.
So, JR, not a lot going on right now in the National Hockey League, but what do you think is next for the Blues when it comes to next season, gearing up, finalizing whatever, you know, do they have to finalize anything when it comes to any of their minor league stuff, anything like that? What's next step when it comes to the Blues calendar?
No, not really. Everything's pretty well wrapped up with that Toropchenko signing. He was a restricted free agent, so they get him for 2 years, and so that took care of everybody on the roster. So I always preface an answer like this by saying, barring anything unforeseen. We saw the trade for Justin Falk a few years ago that came late, actually kind of early into training camp. So that was late. So anything can happen at any time. But in terms of things that we know that are coming up, the Blues are going to switch gears this year. You guys might be familiar with. They've been going to Traverse City, Michigan for years and years for their rookie tournament. They're going to mix it up. They've decided to branch off. They're going to play with Chicago and Minnesota and another team, and they're going to do kind of move the tournament around each year. So I think maybe we'll see this tournament out at Centene in the future. And so these rookie players for these 4 organizations, including the Blues, that's going to start up this year. I believe it's in Minnesota, so the Blues young kids will be up in St. Paul early September, and then you get ready for the main camp. So, nothing out of the ordinary other than the switching of that tournament.
JR, you talk about the roster being set and that there was a late move last time with Justin Falk and whatnot. I've seen a few rumor mills kind of kicking around, and I just didn't know maybe if you had heard anything about it, but they're talking about Marco Scandella could potentially still be on the move, that, not that Army's actively shopping him, but certainly he'd look for a trade. Have you heard anything to that? Again, it's just a rumor.
Yeah, just a rumor. But, you hear a little bit of scuttlebutt about Scandella, and I think it's because you're looking at 8 defensemen on one-way contracts and a 9th one if you include Calle Rosen. After the way Rosen played last year, Riv, how do you send them down and keep them in Springfield, even though you're likely to have injuries? I think they need to make room for Tyler Tucker. I think they need to make room for Scott Perenovich. I think they need in this retool to have those guys in the lineup. So does it make sense to play a Scandella in the last year of a contract ahead of those guys? To me, it doesn't. It also frees up some cap room. The Blues are just a cookie and a lemonade away from the $83.5 million salary cap right now, and Marco checking in at about 3.275. That's a number that they could move. So to me, that makes all the sense in the world if you can find a taker for Marco Scandella.
All right, JR, good luck. Why don't you pad your living room before the wife gets back home?
Put a helmet on.
And just get prepared, okay? We'll let you go.
Yeah. Thanks for the warning, guys. You guys have lived it before, so you know what I'm talking about.
No, absolutely not. Nope.
Oh, boy, she's home.
Yep. See you, JR.
Bye.
There's Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues Insider, with The Athletic here on 101 ESPN. All in good fun. Are You Sold? We're going to play the deadline edition of Are You Sold next here on 101 ESPN.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards made a few trades yesterday before the trade deadline ended. Paul DeJong in the morning to the Toronto Blue Jays. Jack Flaherty right around the deadline at 5 o'clock. A little bit beforehand, he goes to the Baltimore Orioles. Also last night, the Cards lost to the Twins by a final score of 3-2. They'll be back in action tonight as Dakota Hudson takes the mound going up against Joe Ryan. 6:45 first pitch. We have Are You Sold Deadline Edition coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
All right, you heard Marshy. We're going to play Are You Sold? MLB Trade Deadline Edition. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh.
All right, guys, let's start off. Are you sold on the Baltimore Orioles remaining the top team in the American League with Jack Flaherty being their only pitching acquisition?
Ooh, Marshy, that's a good question.
So this question is just specifically, are we sold that they'll be the top team in the American League?
Yes. Based on what they did at the deadline.
I'm going to say I'm not sold on that because the Texas Rangers are in that league.
Ooh.
And the Rangers beefed up at the deadline as well. So, yeah, I am not sold on that.
I am not sold because I think this is when the Houston Astros make a serious run. They acquired Justin Verlander. I don't know if anybody saw what Framber Valdez did last night, but they're getting healthy again, too. Yordan Alvarez is back. Jose Altuve, a couple of stints on the IL. He is back. Bregman is mashing. Tucker is having an outstanding year. Dubon has been very good for them. So has Pena, although Pena's not having the season quite like he did last year when he won Rookie of the Year. But I think that is an excellent team. Going to make a run here. If not Houston, maybe it is Texas. Either way, I don't think it's Baltimore when it's all said and done. So I'm with Jamie. I'm not buying that either.
Are you sold on the Cubs being buyers at the deadline and making a push for the wild card?
Yes, I am sold. I don't think the Chicago Cubs thought they'd be this close to having an opportunity to make the postseason this year. And if they did, boy, they hit it really well. But right now, they're 3 games out of a wild card, and I believe they're only 4 games back of the division lead. So, yeah, they're 4 games back of Cincinnati and 3 games back of a wild card. This is absolutely a team that's wanting to get in. They're pushing.
By the way, Pena didn't win Rookie of the Year last year. It's Julio Rodriguez. That was my bad.
It is your bad.
He had a great year, though, for the Astros. I agree with Jamie again. I think the Cubs are going to make at the very least, a wild card run. They're the only team in the National League Central that has a positive run differential. So they're playing better than their win-loss record at 54-53 would indicate. They absolutely jumped Ben Lively's ass last night. They got a quietly good offense. Cody Bellinger has been outstanding for them all season long. They're pitching. They're going to need Stroman. Steele's been great. Steele's been their stud. Stroman had an excellent first half, started to wear down a little bit heading into the All-Star break. So if he can figure it out, if he can have a bounce back, then yeah, I think the Cubs are going to continue to push to be a wild card team. They're only 4 out of first place. They got a plus 67 run differential. Everybody else in the NL Central has a negative run differential. So Cubs are trending in the right way.
Are you sold on the Mets being in a rebuild for years to come?
No, absolutely not. They're not going to ready. With Cohen? No. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think it's years to come, but I mean, Max Scherzer publicly just airing it out that they had told him, like, yeah, we're not even talking about 24 right now. We're talking about 2025.
Okay, well.
So that's not a long time. It's a year to kind of try and recalibrate.
Do you buy that?
Yeah, I do.
You think Cohen's going to sit in his hands next year?
No, I don't think he'll sit on his hands, but I don't think he's going to have the Verlander Scherzer type splash. You know what I mean? I think he's going to do a Cardinals version of a splash.
Rich Hill.
And no, maybe a little better than Rich Hill. But then the following year, he's going to go Paul's to the wall.
With some sort of Paul DeYoung?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He'd be good next to
the
Lindor,
King of the North.
Huh? The King of the North. There you go. No, I don't buy that.
All right.
I don't buy a rebuild under Steve Cohen. Go blank yourself, New York.
Wow. That was aggressive.
Go blank yourself, Queens.
Wow.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Go blank yourself, Flushing.
Love you.
Are you sold on the Angels making the postseason by keeping Ohtani?
No.
You didn't even let him finish.
You hate that team.
We didn't. No, I don't hate
Angels
that team.
in the outfield was Anthony's least favorite Disney movie growing up.
Okay?
Okay.
Always that guy. Andrew needs to finish. You need to let him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Thank you for
finish.
letting me finish. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. I missed the back half of that question.
Yeah, I'll just do it again.
Go ahead.
I'll just do it again.
You know what?
Over and over until you finish.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to have Jamie answer first.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
On the Angels, are you sold on the Angels making the postseason by keeping Ohtani?
No, I'm not sold.
There it is.
No. They did a lot of work, although they're only 3.5 games back in the wild card.
Giolito got roughed up again today.
Yeah, he did.
2 starts for the Angels. He's gotten roughed up both times. Now, today was the
California
Braves.
weather.
Sure, you can't deal with it, Jamie.
Too
You're
easy.
right. The
He
Braves.
likes that Midwest.
The Braves got him
C's.
today. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. I can't remember who he faced in his first start. Nonetheless, you acquired him to, be the number 2 to Ohtani, and thus far, 2 starts in, he's gotten his blank ripped. So, yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
Are you sold
Should
on...
have traded a Marsh.
No, I don't
You
think so.
should have traded Ohtani.
Should have. He really should have.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day.
it doesn't really matter.
Hey, at the end of the day, you know whose fault this is?
Mine.
Your fault.
Yeah.
This is your fault. Because the Angels happened to be listening to you that day, and they felt bad because Jamie and I were picking on you. And the Angels said, you know what? We like Barsh.
Yeah.
So we're going to hang out Ohtani. It was the dumbest mistake.
It really was.
It's a stupid decision.
Is that how Artie Moreno sounds, or is that your Mickey Mouse since they are right next to Disneyland?
No, that's Artie Moreno.
Okay.
I've got him down to a science.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Good job, Anthony.
There you go.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
There it is.
Are you sold on Mo being able to make the right moves in the offseason?
No.
Anthony, slow your roll.
No,
Is the question Mo or is it the question the DeWitts?
Either way, hand in hand. When has Mo done well in free agency?
But when has Mo ever been handed the checkbook?
I don't know. Never.
I guess I take that back because $87.5 million is a pretty good price tag. So yeah, Anthony, I'm with you. No.
Well, there's other teams that don't have the same payroll, and they find ways to get good players.
Milwaukee seems to do it every year.
Yeah.
Milwaukee every year finds at least 1 or 2 guys that are in their lineup that contribute in free agency. And they don't spend a bunch of money. They gave Christian Yelich all the money. And they turned around and said, "Okay, that's it." It's not.
How out of character was that, by the way?
They seem to do it every once in a while.
What the hell were they doing? And they never do it, and they did it for Yelich.
Yeah.
I know he was a monster there for a while.
He was a monster for 2 years. And he's good again this year.
That 1 year, I think it was his first full season in Milwaukee. He was a Cardinal nightmare.
You couldn't get him out. You couldn't keep him off first base.
Stop pitching to him.
You couldn't get you would have prayed for a single.
Yeah.
Against Yelich. He's been great this year, by the way. So, what was the question?
It was
no.
Yeah, Mo.
Yeah,
No, free agent. No. Yeah.
Are you sold on Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander being impact arms for their teams in October?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know if they can both be in October, can they?
Yes, Texas and Houston can both be.
Man, that would be a really good LCS.
And Texas has not fared well against Houston this year. It's kind of a little brother, big brother scenario. And I don't think that little brother is ready to take over Big Brother.
The lights are too bright.
The lights are too bright.
Literally, the lights are very bright at that stadium.
Is that San Antonio?
No, it's Arlington.
Oh, Arlington. What the hell's wrong with you?
No. I mean the song. What's that song? Lights are too bright.
In Arlington. Oh, is it
song?
I've never heard that song in my life.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I actually thought you were screwing with me for a second.
Bright.
I mean, you're not even singing the song.
No, you're not singing.
You're not doing yourself any justice.
Well, I don't know the words.
And you're staring at us like we should understand what the hell you're talking about.
You're humming, expecting us to know what 1950s song you're talking about.
There it is again.
I don't know it. I don't know the lyrics, obviously.
The text line will help us out. Last
Not
one.
with that.
Lights are bright.
Last one here. Are you sold on Tyler O'Neill and Dylan Carlson being a Cardinal come next spring?
No. One of them will be gone. For sure. One of them's gone. Wow. It'd probably be Dylan Carlson. Because Mo's going to have to go out there and get a starter. The asking price is going to be Gorman. He's not going to want to do that. He's going to pivot, offer up a Carlson and maybe a prospect. That's my thoughts.
They're both going to be. Mo cannot. He cannot give up.
He can't break up with Tyler O'Neill.
He can't quit Tyler O'Neill. And he once said,
I can't quit you.
Here, the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah.
That wasn't even close.
Not in San Antonio.
I said lights and bright. Well, San Antonio's in Texas.
I always think of every song ever that I've ever heard with San Antonio, and I couldn't understand anything.
Deep in the heart
you still
of
don't know
Texas.
Marshy?
Come on.
I don't know. I can't help you on this one, Anthony.
Hits a fast lane here on 101
Screw you
ESPN.
guys.
Anthony, the World Cup soccer is upon us. Women's World Soccer is upon us. And right now, FanDuel, America's #1 sports
Where are
book.
we?
I know I grabbed the wrong sheet, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Why? Because FanDuel's that easy to use. And right now, you get bonus bets every time the Team USA wins with FanDuel. And that means $100 in bonus bets guaranteed, plus another $10 in bonus bets for every time Team USA wins.
They got great promotions at FanDuel. The app is safe, secure, super easy to use. All the odds, all the prop plays, all of the futures they've got. FanDuel's where it's at. Just go to FanDuel.com/fast and sign up between now and August 3rd. Then place your first $5 bet to unlock your bonus bets. That way, you'll be all set to bet on everything and anything from total goals and player props all tournament long. And, well, our guy BT, he's got the rest.
However you want to play it, don't miss your chance to get $10 in bonus bets for every Team USA win, plus $100 in bonus bets guaranteed when you go to FanDuel.com/fast. That's FanDuel.com/fast. 21 and over, President Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So yesterday we got a series of text messages that were not too kind to Mo after people saw what the acquisitions were going to be at the deadline. I don't know what people were necessarily thinking, Jamie. If they were hoping for a bunch of names when the team was selling, then I think that was going to be you're going to be a little misguided there. I think the expectation's a little high if you thought, well, this team's going to make a whole bunch of moves and bring in Verlander. There's going to be prospects, and a lot of prospects you're not going to be able to know because they're going to be from other teams. You're going to know the Cardinals prospects, but I highly doubt, Jamie, you've been doing a lot of research on the Texas Rangers farm system, the Toronto Blue Jays farm system. So people are a little ticked, Jamie.
Why do you highly doubt that? That I'm doing the research. I don't get it. Or you mean other people?
Other people, not you. Yeah.
Like, do you know how long I took?
Those people, not you.
Looking at the Rangers farm system?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exhausted.
Anyways, so free agents. Free agent pitchers.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big topic of conversation from now until the winter splash is over.
I like your categories, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very much so.
So.
Go ahead, Anthony.
So we got a bunch of questions. Well, who can they sign? So I decided, Jamie, just like our guy Mike Sando does his QB tiers.
Yeah.
I decided to put the free agent pitchers into certain tiers.
Mm-hmm. You have names for them.
I do. Yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Which one do you want me to start off with?
Oh, you know where I want you to start.
Okay. Why don't we start with the no way category?
The no what?
The no way category.
The no effing way?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah, that would be... should I clarify? There's no way you're going to get these guys.
Yeah.
Because you're either cheap,
I think
you're going to be cheap.
blanking way works better. Because when you go silent, it feels like there's an audio problem.
Yeah, there's not. I just care about our FCC license.
You can say blanking.
No blanking way.
There you go.
This is the no blanking way category.
Yeah.
I just like mine better. Just wish I could say it. So this is a category, Jamie.
Yeah.
That the Cardinals are either going to, I don't know, say that they're interested in these guys and then lowball them or really not be interested, or these guys.
Yeah, we lost out at the end.
Yeah, we were right there. You weren't, though.
Yeah.
You really weren't. Or these guys are just, going to choose other teams to go to, okay? So the guys that I put in the no blanking way category, Shohei Ohtani.
Obviously.
Aaron Nola and Blake Snell.
That hurts.
To me, that's the blanking way category.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Because
those are the three guys you like.
This is the three guys I've wanted all season long.
Those are the three guys everybody wants. Ohtani, Nola, and Snell. I put the odds, or the percentages.
Yeah.
I put the percentages of the Cardinals signing these guys anywhere between 0% and 1%. All right.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'll leave you the 1%. Okay. Moving on to category 2, Jamie.
Yeah.
Tier 2. The probably not, but possible category. All right?
Yeah.
I got Julio Urias in this category. He's having a so-so season for any pitcher, but a down season certainly for him. I imagine the Dodgers are going to want to re-sign him, but I put him in this category. And Lucas Giolito.
Oh, he's great right now.
Lucas Giolito is tanking his own value as we speak, so maybe he moves to one of these other categories. But I still think that Cardinals probably not going to be in on these guys one way or another. Again, either the Dodgers re-sign Urias or Lucas Giolito picks another spot. Okay, but I would be. It's not that I'm not interested in these guys coming into St. Louis. I just don't think that's a possibility. Okay, all right. The could be available category. These are the guys with mutual options with their current teams. Club option. There's a club option or a player option. So you may say to yourself, Marcus Stroman, he wanted to be a Cardinal. According to Marsh, at one point on one of these social medias
tweet that doesn't exist. Yeah,
either the Instacart had it or the tweet machine or the X machine had it. Somebody had it at one point that Marcus Stroman apparently wanted to be a Cardinal.
It's an urban legend at this point.
It's an urban legend at this point. Nobody can find the actual tweet
but
or
I
the
like
Instacart
the way that
post.
Marshy digs his heels in on
Yeah.
for sure.
It's much like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Could be true.
They are true. You just haven't seen them.
Sure.
Yeah. You haven't seen them. Yeah.
Right. He posted it on the FaceTime or something. We don't know. We don't know.
It'll appear at some point.
But you may throw that. You may hear that name. He's got a player option. You can go back to the Cubs, but it is his option. Michael Wacha, mutual option with the Padres. German Marquez, he's got a club option. Mike Clevenger, mutual option with the White Sox. Charlie Morton's got a club option with the Braves, so the Braves could keep him. Andrew Heaney, player option. Alex Cobb, Giants got a club option on him. So these are guys that could opt out of their deals or have teams opt out. But anybody stand out to you? Stroman, maybe? Jamie?
Stroman would be the only guy, really, if I'm being honest. Like, the other guys be fine. Like, if they signed one of these other guys for decent money to where it's not like, fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Marcus Stroman's a guy that I would actively pursue because I think that there's talent there. And I think there's gas left in the tank with Stroman.
All right. This is the bounce back category. These are the names that everybody's going to throw up in their mouths and then go, maybe. These are the guys that are really struggling this year or have had injury problems. But at one point in time, they were top end starters. This list would include Carlos Carrasco, who is not having a good year at all with the Mets, but at one point was at the very least a number 2, either with the Guardians or the Mets. So Carlos Carrasco, bounce back candidate. Maybe you look at it, 1-year deal with a club option for the second year. This would be your Carlos Rodon category from 2 years ago. So he signed with the Yankees this past offseason. The reason why he signed such a big deal is because he signed a 1-year contract with a second year being a player option, and he pitched his ass off. He was coming off an injured season, and he wound up pitching great for the Giants. They held on to him. He opted out, and he signed a big deal with the Yankees. So think of that when you're thinking of this category. Carlos Carrasco, Luis Severino.
Cut it out.
He's been a disaster for the Yankees. At one point, he was going to be their number 1. Like, he was projected that way. Some injury problems. He hasn't bounced back from the injuries. Jose Quintana at one point was in this kind of group. He was an ace, had some injuries, bounced around a little bit.
What's
wound
his
up having a nice
situation? Just out of curiosity,
he's just signed a multi-year deal with the Mets.
Okay,
I think it's at least 2 years. Frankie Montas.
No way in hell.
Frankie Montas was a guy that a lot of Cardinals fans wanted at the deadline last year. The Yankees got him. He did not pitch well, and then he got hurt. He's been hurt, I believe, all this year. I don't know if he's made a start. 1-year deal? Maybe. At one point, ace with the A's, at least a number 2, viewed that way with the Yankees. Bounce back candidate. The other guy's Hyun-Jin Ryu. Just came back from Tommy John, started a game last night, his first start. At one point, top of the rotation guy for the Dodgers. Not an ace, but a top of the rotation guy. Now, I like this category, Jamie. You ready for this one?
I knew this was coming.
Yeah. This I view as the of course you would Cardinals category. These are guys that I'm not really interested in, but of course the Cardinals would be because they're cheap, potentially.
Hey. Thrifty.
Zach Greinke would fall in this category. Why would you want Zach Greinke if you want to improve your rotation? But the Cardinals may view it as, hey, great. I don't think Greinke wants to pitch here, but whatever. I know I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings with this name. But this guy gives up, I think he's leading the league in home runs allowed. He just got traded. A lot of people love him.
Yeah, pretty solid first outing.
Yes.
It's 7 innings. That's unheard of in Cardinal Nation.
Absolutely. You're right. Against Oakland. Lance Lynn.
What?
Lance Lynn. I don't think he wants to come back here, though.
I think he's got an option.
Does he?
He's got a player option, I think.
He may have an option, and if he does, I don't think he wants to come back to the Cardinals. Wasn't the Cardinals on this list?
Yeah, but everybody talks about that being strategic so he could pick.
I don't care. Noah Syndergaard.
Jesus, Anthony.
Noah Syndergaard. This guy's been done for a while. That's why he keeps bouncing around.
He's got his leg blown up.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Thor did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He got hurt.
Cardinals probably still be interested.
Comebacker to the leg.
Rich Hill. Rich Hill falls in this category of no thanks, but the Cardinals will probably say, give me more, please. Okay. Luke Weaver.
What's your puke point on these guys?
I don't want any of them.
No, but if you could get one for like $9 million.
No.
Okay.
Bring up a young guy. I'd rather see a young guy pitch than Rich Hill throw 82. Luke Weaver. No thanks. Old Cardinals farmhand, having a disastrous year for Cincinnati. No thank you. Martin Perez. Had a bounce back year last year at Texas. Now he's about to get bounced out of the rotation because of the deals that they made.
I would take a flyer on Perez. I would.
And so will the Cardinals probably.
Not at the right price. Look, you're going to have to. No, Anthony, grow up.
You talking free?
No. But the Cardinals are going to have to fill out their rotation in some capacity. They're not going to be able to go get big ticket items for every spot.
Well, Jamie.
Martin Perez, I'd be okay with that. At the right price, I'd be fine with him. Out of that group, I'd be fine with him.
The most interesting category. Last one. These are the guys I would love to see the Cardinals show any sort of interest in.
Still like the first one.
The nope way category?
Yeah.
Kyle Gibson.
Oh, Gibby.
Eduardo Rodriguez. Sonny Gray. James Paxton. Kenta Maeda. And then the last two, I don't think they're coming back, but, you know, would it be awful to see Jack Flaherty back? No. Would it be awful to see Jordan Montgomery back? No. I don't think they're going to be, but I also didn't want to put them in other categories. Like, I'm not interested at all. But those names, the early names, Gibson, Rodriguez, Gray, Paxton, Maeda.
I almost feel like those guys could go in the, of course you would, Cardinals category, too.
No way. Why? You don't like any of those names?
I like them a lot.
These are guys that are pitching well, and I don't think are going to break the bank. So, i.e., they're probably more in line with what the Cardinals are thinking.
Absolutely bring Gibby here. Absolutely bring him here. In a heartbeat.
Okay. All right. So it's sold then.
So that means a good veteran guy. He's a great individual. I think he'd be good for that locker room. Yeah. Good for the young guys.
Right. You might be driving around saying, well, none of these guys are aces, and you'd be correct. The ace category there is the no blanking way category.
No blanking way.
So BK and Ferrario brought up on their show the idea of trading for Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, why would the Rays trade you him?
And whoever the Rays want, you hold on to them with your cold dead hands.
Because do you think though that he's only has like 1 year left on his contract? Do you think he's going to want to sign there?
No. Well, they won't sign him. They won't sign him.
Well, exactly. So they need to get rid of him.
They will trade him, but it won't be to the Cardinals. The Rays can't hang on to anybody, Anthony. You know that. It's time for him to get paid, isn't it?
They pay. They figure they pay some guys. They paid Wander Franco. At one point, they paid Longoria. They pay like two guys.
They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay a pitcher
probably
money.
Not. Probably not.
He could be a good. That's actually a pretty good thought.
I mean, yes, please, but
yeah. What do you think it would take? Because you know they're going for a young guy. They're going for a cost control.
Gorman.
Yeah.
Everything's going to start with Nolan Gorman. I don't want the Cardinals. Yeah, I don't want the Cardinals to trade Gorman.
1 year though, I feel like his price would go down because he'd just be a rental. So maybe like a guy like
still get a full year.
You're right. What'll happen is the Rays will ask for Prieto. And you'll be like, fine. And then literally you just traded the world's greatest shortstop.
Maybe he's going to hit 400 for him.
Maybe Keith Law was onto something.
With the position players?
The infielders.
They should trade infielders.
You got enough of them.
Not Gorman. I don't want to see the Cardinals trade Gorman. I hope don't.
I hope Prieto is one of the best.
In all time.
Ever?
Yeah. For the Rays or the Cardinals?
No.
Whatever.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
All right, what's trending is next to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, listen up. If you're feeling tired, you lack of energy, you're irritable, maybe it's tough to go to work. You come home, you're exhausted. The kids are bouncing all over the place. You haven't been in the gym, and you're getting a little bit of extra weight around the midsection. you're probably suffering from low testosterone. It happens to all ages too, 20, 30, 40, doesn't matter. It happens. Happened to me, happened to my guy, Anthony. We got over to Mentality though. And the board certified physicians, they sit you down, they talk to you, they get to know you, Anthony, and they really make you feel comfortable while they begin the process.
You know, Jamie, you had brought me in there. I'm like, I don't know, Jamie. You look good. You're feeling good. I could see it for myself, but I don't know. But why? Why? Just head in there. Talk to them, just like Jamie did, just like I did. Talk to them, see what they have to say. Because a lot of times you feel like, well, I don't want to really deal with this. I don't have time to deal with it. You don't have time for your health. You don't have time to feel good. You don't have time. Yeah, you don't have time to feel like you did 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Make the time, like Jamie just said. So 2 locations, West County, South County. Sit down. They're professionals. They're fantastic, and you're gonna run into a lot of people down there. It's like, hey, man, good to see you. All right, how you feeling? And it kind of feels like a clubhouse.
Yeah, it's great. People talk about their experiences and how much has changed their life. I usually leave there buzzing a little bit because I'm feeling so good about it and knowing that I'm in the right place to get all this done. So please, again, visit either location. Tell them that Anthony or Jamie sent you in. If you can't get there in person, get there online. It's real easy. Visit lowtusa.com. Again, that's Mentality at lowtusa.com.
What's trending in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a half-price Cardinals ticket voucher.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Jamie, you have something that you want to share for What's Trending.
Yeah, just saw John Denton retweet or quote tweet something that he got from Andy Koska, who's obviously part of the Orioles media group. And John Denton just putting out there, wow. Jack Flaherty, the newest Oriole, quote, "It's exciting to be on a good team. It's exciting to be on a team that's in it. There was a lot of promise in St. Louis. Things didn't work out. Sometimes that's the way it goes. You can't do much about it. And now it's about moving forward."
I have no problem with what he said.
I don't either.
Wow. I don't understand that.
Well,
John Denton said wow.
Yeah.
What's up with people saying things 3 times a day.
Well, he actually, it's all one word, too. W-O-W-O-W-O. So it's wow. So
I got no problem with what
I don't have a problem with what he said, but here's what people here in Cardinal Nation will interpret because it's Jack Flaherty. It's exciting to be on a good team. It's exciting to be on a team that's in it. They'll look at that as a slight at the Cardinals. Like it's finally nice to be on a good team.
This team stinks.
I second what Marsh just said.
He's talking about the Orioles.
No, I'm saying, like, I would be excited too. Who would be excited playing for this ball club right now?
I know. But
we're not even excited watching them. Imagine playing for them.
I agree, Andrew. Don't get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you, Jamie.
Well, Jamie,
I don't like your
I'm always
aggression
mad at
towards
Anthony, but
at all. I don't blame you for that, actually. I don't, Anthony. Go ahead.
What a stray that was.
Seriously.
If some Cardinals fans are going to take offense to that, grow up. How about that? Grow up. Get real. What other two-word sentences can I throw at you?
Oh, I've got a couple.
Is one of the words that was on the tier list?
It's the top of my list.
It's right there, baby.
I mean, come on.
Nice.
Your team stinks. The Cardinals stink this year. If you're offended by Jack Flaherty saying, I'm happy to play for a good team. Oh, the Cardinals aren't a good team. No, you haven't been all season.
It'd be
he was part of it.
It'd be different if he said...
And he got out.
If he said organization.
Organization.
I feel like that changes the context. If I'm excited to play for a good organization.
Right.
Team. That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
That's
right.
different.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Amen, brother.
I'm with you.
Amen.
What else is trending? Well, we could maybe get into last night's baseball game, considering we haven't talked about it at all.
I got one question, one word.
Yeah.
Jamie. Right. Why?
You got me when you
driving down the road. They're like,
you said the one word, you got me, because I thought your question was going to be who cares.
One question.
When you got me with the one word.
Yeah.
Why?
Correct. Yeah.
Dude,
they lost.
It's
they
a
didn't
great
score.
question.
They didn't score.
It's a great question.
They stink.
Here's a question, though.
It's a bad team.
Pablo Lopez. Cards were in talks with the Marlins, or at least there were rumors that maybe Pablo Lopez could be a Cardinal at one point or another. Why did they not get that guy?
I don't know what they were asking for. What I do know is they got Luis Ariz from Minnesota for Pablo Lopez. And Luis Ariz was the batting champ a year ago and is hitting anywhere between 700 and 800, I think, this year. So you don't have a player like that. There's only one of him in the entire league. I don't know what the Marlins were asking for at the time for Pablo Lopez. I don't know what that would have been. Would you have been happy if it was Gorman? Because I wouldn't have been.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know what they were asking for.
How many bats do you think he ended up sawing off last night? I counted at
42.
least 2.
Yeah, 42, I think.
42? You're giving the Cards too much credit. That means they went to the plate at least 42
That's
times.
True. Yeah, good call. And they did not, based on their run production.
How about Jake Berger, who was just traded to the Miami Marlins? He is from St. Louis, went to CBC. They're welcoming Jake Berger down in Miami with $5 burgers for the fans tonight only.
That's awesome.
What a great promotion.
No kidding.
Kind of exciting for the young man. Makes you feel wanted, makes you feel valuable, makes you feel like the team's excited to have you. I like that.
I'm surprised the White Sox didn't hold on to him. I feel like he's a solid, he's had a solid year for them. Seemingly somebody that, fits in perfectly with it. That their offense is not that far away, I wouldn't think. They all have to stay healthy. But that's a cool promotion. I like it. Anything else for what's trending there, Marshy?
I just got one last thing. Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
I figured I'd bring this up because I know You love the Atlanta Falcons. This is on ESPN, written by Michael Rothstein, or Stein. I always get those confused. A day after Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank said he believed in quarterback Desmond Ridder as the future of the position with his franchise, Ridder said hearing his team's owner say that was comforting. I have a question. Why is Desmond Ridder the franchise quarterback? I just didn't see that in him last year.
I can answer that for you, Marsh.
Can you?
Yeah,
Have you seen that franchise? Sorry, Anthony.
I don't know why
Matt
he would
Ryan
be the guy.
How many Super Bowls?
He went to one. Well, he won one. Who? Matt Ryan.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. When did he win a Super Bowl?
He didn't win that one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're doing this again.
That's the game that Anthony turned off.
Anthony, didn't you DVR the game? You go back and watch it.
I don't have to. They won.
You
in
don't
my
watch
mind,
the games.
Marshy,
yes.
I know why they consider Desmond Ridder the future of the quarterback position for the Falcons. They don't have anybody else. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Trade deadline winners and losers. Where would you put the old Cardinals in that category, or one of the categories? It's next on 101 ESPN. Winners and losers from the MLB trade deadline.
Anthony, I'm offended.
What?
You can't call people losers anymore. You know that. You have to call them the winners and the ones who tried really hard.
I don't think so, Jamie. Not up in here.
I was having
What's the motto of our show?
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to bury the bodies.
What's the second motto?
We
bury the bodies. Which means if you're a part of our fast lane team, we will bury the bodies for you.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, that's right. Winners and losers. I think a winner's got to be the Texas Rangers.
Why? Because they got Scherzer?
And Montgomery and Chapman and Stratton and Hedges.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they gave up prospects. You don't sign Corey Seager and Marcus Semien and Jacob deGrom. I know he's hurt, but you're going for it. You're the Rangers. You're going for it. And then sit on your hands and protect your prospects. No, you do what they did. So I think the Rangers are my top winner.
Yeah,
I'm a winner.
I'm right there with you. We said this before the deadline, that this was the year they'd never won it. If they're going to go for it, now's the time. And they didn't screw around.
Mm-hmm.
They went out there big time. So, yeah, big winners. I mean, to be determined, but on paper, big winners.
No doubt. I think the Astros are a winner, too. They get Justin Verlander back, place that he excelled. They're getting healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Astros, you didn't know if Verlander or Scherzer were going to be available at the deadline. That was kind of the topic of conversation. The Mets were out of it, but what are they going to do? They're going to hold on to those guys, and they didn't. So Verlander becomes available. So you counter the Rangers' series of moves by adding a Verlander. All right, Astros, you're in the winner category, too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that, the Astros, certainly they're right there tied in first place in the West with the Rangers. But they're also going to get a lot of guys back from injury, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start funneling those guys back into the lineup. So then when you add a guy like Verlander, and the big part about it, too, is you're familiar with the individual.
Yeah.
That's half the battle sometimes.
Very true.
So I would agree with that.
Would you put the Mets in a winner category?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Because they got a lot of prospects for those guys.
I don't care.
Okay.
When you have, honestly, I don't care. They're massive losers.
I'm just talking about them at the deadline. Not their season's a loser.
No, but here's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm. Just because they liquidate all that, it doesn't make them winners. They're absolute losers that they had to liquidate. They are. They're the highest payroll in all of baseball, and they had to get rid of players because things have gone so poorly. So for me, when you have to get rid of 2 Hall of Famers, you're the loser in this. I'm sorry. Those are my standards. Maybe mine are a little higher than yours.
Not really.
Never know.
Winner. I think they're a winner.
Quite the same, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of categories.
A lot of crossover.
Absolutely. I think they're a winner, Jamie. I think they're a winner. Based on what they did at the deadline. I think the Yankees are a loser.
What did they do?
Not exactly.
Did they not?
They didn't declare. They're like,
did they even make a trade?
No.
Of significance?
Not of one of significance, no. They got Spencer Howard and they got whoever the hell is
Would you say the
Middleton.
Blue Jays fall into this category? Like they went and...
No, I think...
they got Hicks. They got Cabrera.
I think they did well. I think they needed bullpen pieces.
They're winners based on the fact they improved their ball club.
Yeah, and Bichette gets hurt, and you replaced him with DeYoung.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's adequate.
You don't want to have to replace Bichette, but if you have to for a little while, DeYoung isn't a bad option. DeYoung's a good defender, and he's got pop.
Yeah,
I don't think
a really good guy.
And a really good guy. Yeah,
how about he's doing that charity thing here locally in St. Louis the day before the trade deadline.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, he is a good dude.
I admire that guy.
Yep. I think the Angels fall into a winner-loser category. The loser category, so to me, the Angels, you don't trade, you decide to keep Shohei Ohtani, okay? The hell are you doing? However, you did decide to keep him.
You backed it up.
You backed it up, exactly. So you made a decision. I can disagree with the decision.
Yeah.
But the fact that you kept Ohtani and then said, we're going to go for it, you got a slew of injuries. You added C.J. Cron, Randall Grichuk, who had a hot streak going for Colorado, a bunch of ding-dong Johnsons for Colorado. So you had him. You added Moustakas at one point. You had Giolito. Okay. It's not like they said, no, we're keeping Ohtani. We're going to make a run. And then you didn't do anything. I got to respect that at least. They're going for it. So I'm going to put them in the winner category.
I'm going to put them in the loser category.
Just for Ohtani?
Yeah, I think that's a massive misstep for the organization. You held on to a guy that you're probably not going to be able to re-sign, and you got absolutely nothing for him, where you could have had a historic haul in return that would have set your ball club up probably in the next 2 years and then for like years to come after that. Yeah. Now, if you don't retain Ohtani, you've put your ball club in a massive deficit for the next 4 or 5 years.
You and I can agree on that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know a surprising loser for me? The Orioles. What? They didn't do much.
They didn't do enough. They didn't.
I mean, you got a first place team. You got a really good team.
They needed another pitcher.
Yeah.
They should have called the Cardinals and said, "Listen, we want Monty and Flaherty."
Right. You know,
that's the only deal we'll make is if for both guys, and here's our prospects, and you get back a massive haul.
Yeah.
Because that team needs guys like that. Yep. And if those guys go and perform for Baltimore, they're in the mix. I don't think they're World Series bound because of two teams called Texas and Houston.
Yeah, you don't have you're not going to be.
Maybe that's what the Orioles decided though. Maybe they're like, you know what, this is a team that we're going to ride on the fact that you never know.
Right. Who's starting for you? You're the Baltimore Orioles, and you go into a series, and I'm not talking about like how it lines up and all that. Let's just talk about you're the Orioles, and let's say you line up against Houston or Texas at one point, and Houston is going to start either Verlander or Framber Valdez, and Texas is going to throw one of their horses at you. Who are you lining up with? I like Kyle Gibson a lot. I don't think he's going to be your game one starter.
Well, he can't be.
You know, the other guys are Dean Kramer, who gives up a lot of home runs. Tyler Wells has had himself a good year, but I don't think Tyler Wells is keeping anybody up at night. They got a youngster in Grayson Rodriguez who's had, one or two good starts in a row lately, but he's got a 6 ERA, and Kyle Bradish, who gives up a ton of home runs. Like you're going into a gunfight with a couple of knives.
Well, I guarantee you, they're hoping that Jack Flaherty is that guy. And, Flaherty game 1, Gibson game 2 type thing.
Bob Gibson? I don't think.
Well, I think they'd take him, but no, Kyle Gibson.
Yeah. So I think that's a category. Where would you put the Cardinals?
If for winners or losers?
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals are winners at the deadline. And
wouldn't they fall in the same category for you as the Mets, though?
No, they
shouldn't be here.
Okay, shouldn't be here. But here's the problem with the Mets is they had to trade away 2 Hall of Famers. I'm going to reiterate that. And they're on the hook for half of their paychecks, too.
You don't think Flaherty and Montgomery are going to the Hall?
Not yet. No, they're not.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So the Cardinals and Verlander and Scherzer had term left on their deal.
Yeah.
Cardinals got rid of nothing but guys that were going to expire as far as their contracts are concerned. And they didn't eat any salary of the guys that left the building. The Mets, they ate 50% of both of those deals. So that's a big misstep. So no, I do not view the Cardinals in the loser category. I actually view them as a winner because they identified 1, where their team was, 2, what they needed to do, and 3, the guys that had to go.
Yeah.
Like the biggest misstep for the Cardinals would have been to hang on to a couple of those guys and hope and wish and pray that, it's a bad division and this and that, or we'll try to re-sign him in the offseason, and then you're sitting there with nothing.
Right.
So they're not big winners because we don't know yet, but they're winners because they actually did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
You?
The Cardinals, they're a winner because of what you said. They took the expiring contracts and they turned them into prospects. Now we'll see whether those prospects develop or they use those prospects to make other trades. But it just reminds me, Jamie, like they are the Cardinals are the person that's got a task list. This weekend, I want to wash the car. I need to grocery shop. I need to clean the kitchen, and I need to go to the post office. And the Cardinals are like, all right, I'm going to do that. Check, 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 check. And that's it. They don't wow you.
Yeah.
They're not going to, they're not going to go above and beyond. They weren't going to surprise you. they did exactly that. They took every expiring contract and they turned them into prospects. And there we go. Like, there's no creativity at all, but they did good. They did a good job. You know,
Anthony,
they're white bread. You know, they're fine. It's good.
If I gave you,
it's fine.
If I gave you a multiple choice,
okay,
of 3 people,
618.
No, multiple choice of 3 people that could have sent this text.
Okay.
I'll read the text.
Mm-hmm. Can I play in this game?
Sure, as long as you haven't seen.
I haven't
text.
looked yet. No.
The Cardinals are losers. They got nothing to help in 2024. But enjoy the prospects who won't do anything. You need proven talent. So now, A, was that thanks, Dad?
No.
B, was it Cottleville Chris?
Maybe.
C, was it 618?
I'll say 618.
I'm going to go Cottleville Chris. I think he's pulling a Grant here, trying to misdirect us.
618 is usually a little bit more angry than that and a little bit more over the top.
And his text messages are shorter. They're not like drawn out like that one is. It's shorter. Like, the prospects you got are all injured. Which was actually a text that I saw from him earlier.
Okay, so I need final answers.
They're all injured. One of them was hurt. I'm final answer 618. I'm gonna stick with my gut.
Chris is mine.
Okay, so none of you took thanks, Dad.
Nope.
No correct. Way. Obviously, one of you is correct.
Yeah.
The answer is 618.
Yeah. Gotta go with your gut, Marshy.
Yeah, but I did like your breakdown, Marshy. And
sorry,
as I'm staring,
Chris. I didn't mean to throw you in that kind of light.
Oh, he's pissed now.
He's very pissed.
But in your scouting report of 618, you're right, because I'll just rhyme off a few of these that I can. So we'll start. We'll start at 8:14 a.m. I would imagine that 8:14 a.m. today. Excuses with Wayno. 8:21. Mats, no. 9:07 a.m. Michaelis, Mr. 500.
I told you.
9:35. We got more excuses with Wayno. Excuses. Not good enough, you moron, was another one.
He usually doesn't get personal with us.
Did there. That was at 11:05. So BK and Ferrario took that one.
You didn't trade him, though, Anthony.
And then at 11:09 is keep kissing Moselak's butt. 5:14, loser. 2:35, they need 5. And then the Rangers gave the Cardinals their injured prospects. So Marshy's scouting report is correct. That they're not long texts. They're very thorough, to the point, and very angry.
That's when you know he's really upset, is when the text messages is more than one sentence.
Yeah, he's emotionally invested at that point.
Yeah, he's got compound sentences going on.
Yeah.
All right, we need a new Beat the Streak contestant, so just text in BTS to 314-399-9646. If you want to play Beat the Streak, we do need a new contestant since who failed our guy last night? It was
Andrew.
Yeah, but who failed him? Oh, it was Julian.
Yeah.
Correa failed me. I knew it. I didn't like. Right when I said Correa, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't had a good year.
Right when I saw Kepler, I got home and I saw my Bally Sports app, Max Kepler single to left field.
There you go.
Or right field, one of the two. I go, there you go. Now I can.
Did you give it a fist pump at least? You're like, yeah.
It's kind of like one of those, like, nice.
What? Nothing.
Beat the Streak. Dax, I want to win ESPN.
Listen up, St. Louis. Selling your home is a big deal, and it can be very stressful, too. And now, when the market is as crazy as it is, it's not the time to be just using any average agent who sells maybe a small group of homes a year. No, the only agent that you should be choosing is the best in the business, and that's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria already has the buyers for you. And what that means is that Gloria has thousands of ready buyers in her exclusive database, and those buyers are ready to buy. They're ready to look at your home, hopefully create a higher demand for your home and maybe more money for you. Gloria has also mastered the art of having options for you guys as sellers. And one that I like is the guaranteed sales, where Gloria will sell your home at your agreed-upon price, or she will buy it herself. She guarantees that in handwriting as well. So please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on the price and possession date.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Yesterday, the Cardinals traded Paul DeJong to the Toronto Blue Jays and Jack Flaherty to the Baltimore Orioles ahead of Major League Baseball's trade deadline. They also took on the Minnesota Twins last night and unfortunately lost by a final score of 3-2. They're back in action tonight as Dakota Hudson takes the mound going up against Joe Ryan. First pitch is at 6:45. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You'll find the full show and all of our interviews. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. You can also check out our YouTube page as all of our shows are archived. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. And one thing about Andrew Marsh, he likes Andrews, he likes Jakes. Andrews and Jakes. If your name is Andrew or Jake, you're going to probably get through to either Beat the Streak or the Gauntlet.
Who do we have now?
Andrew.
You can't make this up.
Another Andrew?
Yeah.
Marshy, it's okay to pick a different name. Like my guy.
What's up, Andrew?
No offense, Andrew.
What's going on, fellas?
You ready to play Beat the Streak?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right. Marsh, standings, please.
Yes, I am currently leading this current streak with 3.
Is this your longest streak?
No.
What's your longest streak?
Let me check real quick.
Okay, I'm
Guys,
interested.
we got a ticked off texter.
Why?
Thanks, Dad.
What's wrong?
It's like I have no business being in that threesome.
Yeah, I can't believe you used him. You could have used Marsh's burner or something.
Thanks, Dad is right, but Jamie, you're trying to think of something on the fly, and Thanks, Dad is a popular.
It's a recognizable because we have it named.
So, in Jamie's defense, Thanks, Dad, you're a popular
I thought
guy.
that was pretty obvious that it wasn't Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, it was. We can eliminate him right away.
No, what?
You know what I mean. Go ahead, Marsh.
My longest streak, Anthony, was 7.
Oh,
so I'm almost halfway there.
And the all-time streak, of course, is
13.
Yeah,
set by
by
the
what's
Anthony
his name?
Stalter.
No, Arias set that one for Anthony.
So half my hits came from Arias in that streak. You still got to pick him.
Literally half.
I mean, come on.
They played him 6 times. He got 6
You
times.
picked him.
Did I? It worked out perfectly.
You picked him 4 times.
Oh.
Was that it?
That was it.
Still 4
Boy,
hits.
it felt like it. I picked him
It
6
felt like
times.
you just kept going.
Yeah. When I saw that they were on the schedule again coming here to St. Louis, I go, yes. Okay, anyways, Marsh, you're 3. You're leading the pack.
I
Go
got
ahead.
3. Jamie has 1. He picked Paul Goldschmidt, who let him down the night before.
Yeah, he did.
You picked Carlos Correa. Anthony, he did not get a base hit. And the other Andrew that was with us yesterday had Julian, who also did not get a base hit. So we now bring in Andrew.
Okay, so Marsh
2.0.
goes first, Jamie second, Andrew third, and I am last today. What do you got, Marsh?
Ooh, I think tonight I'm really feeling. Oh, man. Do I go with the Twins again? Joe Ryan's pitching. I feel like we're going to get Dakota Hudson's pitching. Give me
Shot clock.
Give me Polanco.
Placido Polanco?
No, not Placido Polanco. What a name, though. What a poll by you.
Thank you.
Placido Polanco. Boy, man, he played like 14 years. Placido Polanco.
He was on that Tigers team that
Yes, he
you were
was.
rooting for against the Cardinals in
I was
2006.
not rooting for him. Come on. Okay, so Marsh, you got Polanco.
Yes.
Jamie.
I'm doubling down again. I think there's gold in them there hills has got it. Paul Goldschmidt.
All right. And the other Andrew.
Tyler O'Neill.
Okay, going T.O. And I'm going to go with the Newt. I'm going to double down, too. I got Newt for the home run. I got Newt for a hit.
almost went Newt to block you.
I probably just would have went Goldie. Probably just would have went UConn Cornelius.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so Marsh with 3 hits right now. He's got Polanco tonight. Jamie with 1 hit. He's got Goldie. Andrew's just starting a streak tonight. He's got Tyler O'Neill. And I got to start a new streak. I've got the Newt. Andrew, good luck, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, you want to do biggest question of the day?
Let's do it.
All right.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, gentlemen, we were talking about Dylan Carlson and Tyler O'Neill when we were playing our Are You Sold game in the 4 o'clock hour. And this question comes from Jackson.
Holiday?
Not Jackson Holiday.
Okay.
No, a different Jackson. How important are the next few months for Dylan Carlson and Tyler O'Neill?
Well, I totally get the question. I think that the 2 guys that might have the most stake heading into the offseason might be those 2, O'Neill and Carlson. Newt is entrenched. If you're not going to make any room for Walker outside of playing in the outfield, then you got 1 spot available, and it's up to those 2 guys. And we know that Mo loves Tyler O'Neill more than life itself. So Tyler O'Neill is going to get many opportunities here. So if you're Dylan Carlson, man, it's going to be tough. So I get it. I think that the next couple of months are are huge for those two guys. Are they going to get enough playing time? Would have been my question.
Yeah.
Like Carlson's in and out of the lineup constantly. I know he hasn't done much with his opportunities. I get that. He's in and out constantly.
Yeah.
He has not had, when he has had a run, when he's had a stretch of games, unfortunately the kid has gotten hurt. O'Neal, same category, but I feel like O'Neal, because of the season he had a couple of years ago, if he's healthy, he's not riding a bench. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. They are more, whether it's Mo, the front office, the analytics team, or Ollie, they are more apt to say, DC, sit your ass on the bench, we'll see you in 2 games. They will not do that to Tyler O'Neal.
No, you're right. That's a tough question. Who has more riding access?
Well, it's both of those guys.
They both do.
Yeah. I think it's a Marsh question. Do how much is riding on?
I thought he asked who has more
Marsh
on the line.
The question was how much.
Well, it's just how important are the next few months?
Yeah, very important to both guys.
Well, they're both very important. If you had to pick one over the other, who has more riding on the back end of this season?
Carlson, because he's got a longer. Man.
Right? This is the brain pretzel that I put myself in, thinking, well, Tyler O'Neal, he's wanting to score big on the free agent market.
Well, he's got one more year,
He's got
right?
one more year of arbitration, but still,
Yeah.
he needs to have a good year. And Dylan Carlson needs to have a good finish in order to stay as part of the plans moving forward.
I'll say Carlson because I think he's going to get fewer opportunities. I think it's more at stake for him. He's got less opportunities, less of a chance to showcase himself before the offseason. I'll say Dylan Carlson. Somebody doesn't like him. Somebody loves O'Neal.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think Dylan Carlson, it's more important for him to have a good finish to this season so he sets himself up for next year. For Tyler O'Neal, if he doesn't, then it's easy. You're just going to trade him and move on anyways.
Right, or put him right back in the outfield because
probably.
They love the biceps on him. So
they are impressive.
All right, that's the biggest question today here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What you missed, criticisms, compliments, next. the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If you miss anything from today's show, you can download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Our guy Brad Thompson stopped into the studio for the first hour of the show. We talked about the Cardinals trade deadline, what he thought of the acquisitions. We talked about which young pitchers could make their Cardinals debut at some point the rest of the year, and we talked about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes, we did.
The second hour of the show, we did the Mike Sando quarterback tiers questionnaire. So we talked about some of the rankings there. Which free agents make the most sense for the Cardinals from a pitching standpoint? I put together my own tiers for that. Jamie liked one of the categories specifically. How would you handle the starting rotation the rest of the year for the Cardinals? We played Are You Sold on some of the MLB deadline acquisitions. And we talked to JR, who got in a lot of trouble with his wife after some very inappropriate jokes. That's all what you missed today, but you can check it out on the podcast. Marshy.
Yep.
What do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Thanks, Dad left us a text. He said, I want to hear the scouting report on my text messages. LOL. I have one.
On who?
On Thanks, Dad.
Oh, Thanks, Dad.
They're very funny.
They are.
So funny that I don't think we can repeat them on these airwaves. Most of them.
Right. Thanks, Dad is very funny.
It is very funny. Very good comedic relief sometimes.
100%. We got a text from the 618. You went from one segment saying you will bury the bodies, then saying eliminate Thanks, Dad. That poor guy.
Well, no, it was different. You got to keep the context. But that was funny too.
From the 314, one of our FedEx friends said, "Come by FedEx tonight. We can get your 10 signatures. That'll make a difference."
I forgot what our petition was.
I don't know.
You
have a different one all the time.
Yeah. It was the boycott Busch Stadium.
That's right. Yeah, today was the boycott.
I didn't
Stadium.
understand that one. Busch Stadium's a beautiful place. It's a wonderful spot to watch a ball game.
It certainly is. But Jamie, if this ownership group is just going to continue to get our money and not, put it back into the field with some free agents, then we've got to take a stand. Okay.
We got a compliment from the 636. Thanks for not talking about last night's Cardinals game.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was
Truth?
easy.
Honestly, truth? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Why would you?
I forget what I was doing, but it was better.
Why would you? I didn't even think about it. I really didn't. It was like the first time in my career I didn't even think about it.
Oh, last night? I saw Max Kepler get a base hit. I think I turned it off.
Nah,
that's a lie. I watched it. I watched a little bit of it.
What are we doing here? If you bring up Masyn Winn, I'll watch. If you bring up Gordon Graceffo or Michael McGreevy or any of the 14 prospects you just brought in, I'll watch. I'm not going to watch Dakota Hudson. Sorry. I know what that looks like, Jamie. And it's fine. It's fine.
Interesting on the text line. It seems like everybody's name is Andrew now.
Pretty much.
Or Jake, but mostly Andrew. We got a text from Lisa, who I feel like we haven't heard from Lisa in a while. She said, in reference to the free agent pitcher segment that we were having, she said, this was the best segment since this disaster of a flippin' season started. Thank you. Thanks for making me laugh. We then got a text immediately after Lisa from the 314 that said, this is the most depressing segment to date.
Hey, you know what then? It was the perfect segment.
Boy, we killed it
when you have someone love it and someone hate it,
it
means at least you got a response.
But I totally understand what they're saying. It's the most depressing because we're talking about the offseason already. So I'm assuming that's what they meant, the 314 meant.
Maybe they just hate us.
That could be. That's fine. You're well within your right to hate us. A lot of people hate us.
True. Oh, yeah.
We know some of them.
Oh, yeah. 20 plus years.
We got a text from the... You guys done laughing?
No.
Good. From the 636... Marshy, I got your back. Stroman talked highly of the Cards years ago. So this was talking about Marcus Stroman. Someone sent us a picture, actually, of a certain tweet
David
Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, David. Thank you, David. David did some sleuth work, man. David did some detective work.
Love that.
He found the tweet. It said, Cardinals fans flooding my mentions. I see y'all. Appreciate all the love.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he had more.
He had to have, because we got another text from the 636. Stroman was posting pictures of him at Busch Stadium and Photoshopped pictures of him in a Cards uniform on his Instagram story.
I don't remember that at all, but text line is gospel. So
yeah, I'm here for it. Bring him home.
Bring him home. It's incredible.
And we have a text from Swan. Awesome show today, guys. I stand with BT, where I think the Cards will and should sign one of Snell or Nola, potentially, and then trade for an arm, whether it be a Mariners pitcher or someone from the Rays, where we end up trading the next future All-Star again. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Swan.
Thanks,
He's
Swan.
not wrong.
Swan, that's funny. Yeah.
Not wrong.
I too, sign me up for one of those guys. That would be fantastic. I just don't know if it's going to happen, boys.
What do you think is going to happen with Colton Wong, DFA'd by the Mariners?
Somebody will pick him up as a defensive replacement. A contender will probably pick him up as a defensive replacement. He has had just an atrocious year, though, offensively.
Poor guy.
Hey, the Mariners have needed middle
Domingo
infield.
Herman also put on the restricted list. He's going into inpatient rehab for alcohol abuse.
Oh. So he's had some.
Yeah.
He's had some off-field issues, Domingo Herman.
Well, it kind of connects some of the dots here now.
Yes, you're right.
Well, best of luck to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Colton Wong.
And hopefully he'll get. Yeah, hopefully Domingo Herman will get some health. Boy,
Didn't he just throw a perfect game?
He threw the 28th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. 26, something like that. And now he's going into rehab. But again, these are human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings that make mistakes. Not excusing anything, but hopefully he does get some help. And the first step is seeking it out. All right, that'll do it for us. Instant replay coming up next. See you.